ESPN.com. So stay with us. You can also go to our website and our social media for more. I'm Steve Hartline reporting.
Your current Milligan Vein temperature is 71 degrees. MilliganVein.com.
You're listening to Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. The ESPN Cleveland 101.3 lineup is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. WholesaleSupply.us.
Don Ledford used vehicles are hot during our February winter trade-up event. We have all of your favorite pre-owned Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick SUVs and trucks, like Chevy Corvettes, Silverados, and Blazers, GMC Sierra, and Yukon XL Denali's, and Buick Encores. Plus, we have over 25 of the other most popular import and domestic brands. Don Ledford Pre-Owned Trucks and SUVs in Cleveland is the dealership to go to if you're looking for quality, variety, and a dealership you can trust to back up every pre-owned vehicle they sell. And they've been doing it for over 44 years. Go online to donledford.com and review the vehicles you're interested in, and then visit our showroom at 4595 North Lee Highway in Cleveland to inspect and test drive your choice. You'll get a great deal during this annual event. Don Ledford Pre-Owned Automotive Center, where we say yes. Hurry, this sale ends March 3rd, 2026.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, it makes sense to choose an insurance agent that's a part of your community. Your local Allstate agent knows the ins and outs of both owning and protecting a home in your neighborhood. By choosing a local Allstate agent, you get an expert who knows the community and is committed to getting to know you. Which means George Gray can help you get the protection you want that fits you and your life. Are you in good hands? Contact George Gray, Allstate Insurance today for a free quote.
At First Horizon, we know if there's a win, there's a way. Our team is here to help every step of the way with personal, business, or private banking. Stop by and visit us at one of our locations in Cleveland or give us a call at 423-559-7660. At First Horizon, we look forward to finding a way.
Hey, Andy Morris here. Join me along with my co-host on The Drive, presented by Hardees, weekdays at 5 p.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, Cleveland and Bradley County's local sports show, weekdays at 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no style. Got a thirst for killing.
Welcome into The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Hope everyone out there is having a good Friday. I am Jim Gum, and before I introduce my guest, I do want to make sure that everyone out there listening understands that tonight's boys semifinals of the district tournament have been postponed. Period. That's all we're going to say right now. Things will clear up as we get that information. We'll share it with you. But again, tonight's boys semifinals of the district tournament scheduled for Ottawa have been postponed. So we will talk a little bit more about that as the show continues. But right now I want to introduce my guest, Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson, I've known him since, 40 years maybe.
That old?
Yeah, we're that old. But anyway, so Kevin, you are part of a ministry that a lot of people out there might be interested in. It's called Catch Ministries, CATCH. It's an acronym. And tell all of our listeners out there, especially those that like to fish, about Catch Ministries.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me in. Now, Catch stands for Christian Anglers Together Can Help. And so we do more than fishing, but that's our main thing is fishing. And we use that to spread the gospel. Everywhere we go, whatever we do, somebody does a devotion. And so we've had events where we've taken folks from the local nursing homes fishing to some ponds. We've taken some drug addicts fishing. We've organized rodeos for children over in Ray County. We've done the Boys and Girls Club here in town. But we start in February, and end in October, and we have fishing tournaments for adults. And we typically it's one per month, but it's a great opportunity. If you don't have Christian friends to be around and you like to fish, come out and join us. If you've got a fishing buddy that's not a Christian and you don't know how to witness to him or how to lead him down the right path, we'd be more than glad to help you with that.
And when you get someone out on a boat, you have a captive audience.
Absolutely.
They can't say, "Hey, I got to go." They're in the boat with you. You make that call as to when they're going to go get out of that boat. Correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a gentleman in town named John Miles who used to have a store here in town on Ocoee Street called the Outdoorsman, and that was one of his big things. He would get when John was miraculously saved, I guess, for lack of a better term, and he was sold out for the Lord. And he would take his buddies fishing, and they couldn't walk on water.
That's true.
Had to stay there with him.
Speaking of someone that can walk on water, and he's having to do whatever he can today, Steve Hartline is joining us today. And Steve, it has been an interesting afternoon to say the least.
Well, hey, good afternoon, Jim. Is that my buddy Kevin?
It is Kevin Johnson. It is. Yes, it is.
Hey, Steve.
Kevin, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good. Hey, Jim, it's been quite a day, really unlike we've ever seen when it comes to scheduling high school athletics. Basically, I want to bring everybody up to date. I know you have, Jim, and we're trying to get the word out here because, quite frankly, we're less than an hour away from when a lot of people will probably. Some people will show up at Ooltewah. Others will show up at Walker Valley this evening because they just didn't get the word. But we know that there was a problem with the HVAC unit at Ooltewah High School in their gymnasium, and the decision was made to move the games tonight. The boys semifinals, Cleveland Bradley, and then Walker Valley and East Hamilton up to Walker Valley tonight. So we went with that. We had that on very good authority that was happening. And I will say that, well, let me say that later. Anyway, then we got word, hang on, the games tonight are postponed. I felt like the Bush Gore, I think I told you, I felt like Bush Gore 2000 when they kept announcing decisions and pulling them back. We did that about 3 times today.
Yes, we
Never,
did.
ever has happened like this. And it was about, this all started really around noontime with the moving initially to Walker Valley tonight, and then about 3:30, maybe 3 o'clock, 3:30, that they were postponed. Then they brought that back. And then we got word literally in the last 30 minutes that, yes, they're postponed. So, Jim and Kevin, your audience, and Ryan there, your audience on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, some may be going to Ooltewah because that was the original to get the word about noontime. Some may be going to Walker Valley because the decision to be made was made with about an hour to go, a little more than an hour to go until 6 o'clock. And again, we were caught in the middle quite a few times today, and there is, look, whatever. I mean, we're not blaming anybody. I'm not making any kind of negative statements, but I want the audience, especially the sports audience on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, to understand, get some context here, that there was quite a bit of debate going on locally, and in our district. And so, Jim, that's where we are. Here's all we know, right? Go ahead.
I was going to say, and Steve, and it puts us in a very precarious situation because we got announcers and board ops that are supposed to produce the games, and announcers supposed to go there and call the games. So they're kind of like, where am I going, and all that stuff. So we have no decision making. We just go by what is told to us.
Yeah. My concern really is the fans, and
Sure.
and we what I never want anyone to do when they think of us is to question when we come out with something, be it news, weather, sports, doesn't matter, and we take pride in that. But I wanted to give your audience on the drive some context that we have seen more debate today about a night of basketball games and a very consequential night of games. This is not just regular season. This is the district semifinals, boys district semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to speculate. I'm not even going to talk about tomorrow night. I'm not even going to talk about it. Here's what we know right now. Here's what we know. And I told Jim off the air earlier that we're kind of treat it like severe or snow or severe weather, or
Right.
like if there's a cancellation. Our old rule has always been, if we don't hear about a school, for instance, or a place, we just assume they're going. So here's what we know. We know the games are postponed tonight. They're not happening at Walker Valley or anywhere else. The boys' semifinals. And I actually got that call from the state
Oh, my goodness.
about 30 minutes ago. So anyway, we know that. At this moment, we can report that the girls' district championship game, Bradley-Cleveland, will be played at Bradley High School tomorrow night, and that Walker Valley will play in a consolation game before that. That's what we know. That's what we're going to go on right now.
Yeah.
And as we get into the weekend, here's the issue, too. The issue is going to be getting the word to fans and families and that sort of thing. And all I can tell you is this, and I just did a report on Mix 104.1 on our oldies station, and that is, look, stay with us, tune into our stations.
Right.
Look at our website and social media. And if you're obviously listening to ESPN right now, go to ESPNCleveland1013.com. We're going to update all of that tomorrow, and it may be tonight. Jim, I don't know what to believe anymore.
I know. And like you said, you tune into our stations, whether it be, ESPN, Mix, Oldies. We'll announce these when we find out for sure exactly what's going to happen. You'll be able to find out about it here on our stations.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer, but I wanted to especially give our sports audience, our ESPN audience, some context to what's happened here today. In my career, and I've been at the station for over 30 years, I've never seen anything like what's happened today, especially an hour before game time.
Yeah.
Especially in a district tournament. Never have seen anything like it. And that's not, again, let me back up. That's not a negative comment about anybody, about anything, about anybody, any institution. That's just the way it is. And so, postponed tonight. At this moment, scheduled for tomorrow night, Cleveland-Bradley, the championship of the district at Bradley at 7:30.
Absolutely. Steve, appreciate you coming on with us and clarifying as best you can about what's going on. And like you said, when we find out more information, we'll pass it along.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. So there we go. So no basketball tonight. Tomorrow, to be announced.
Take your special someone out for a steak.
That's tonight, date night, right? Date night on Friday night. So
based on what Steve said, that just makes us groundbreaking, right, Jim? He said this is the first time. That just makes us groundbreaking. That's great.
Exactly. All right. Now, I do want to get, and we're going to hit a break here in about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit sooner than that. But anyway, I do want to make something that happened yesterday that really bothered me because I knew the guy, Wes Rucker. Guy that wrote for the Times Free Press for around 10 years, has been in Knoxville working for WBIR up there, has a show up there, a podcast, very well connected, knows Tennessee athletics inside and out. Tragically lost his life in a 5-car pileup yesterday around 4:50, and just horrible. He's got a wife. He's got a young child, and his wife is actually expecting their second child, I think, in a couple months. Just a tragic situation. And Kevin, you and I, being believers like we are, nobody's guaranteed tomorrow. We're not even guaranteed the end of today, but it just really just hits hard when someone's 43 years old, still in the prime of his life. It's just a shame.
You sit back and think, what's the worst phone call you could get? You're sitting at home. What's the worst phone call? Yeah. Or the knock on the door, and there's the policeman or whoever that is. And, I mean, he didn't get up yesterday morning planning to be in a 5-car pileup. No. His wife didn't expect that phone call or whatever it was she got. And so I said, I'm not familiar with Wes Rucker other than I've heard the name. I when you sent me the information, I checked up to see if I could recognize his voice, and I didn't. But everything
when he was
that
around
I've read,
here, he wasn't really on there. Maybe a guest here and there, but mostly it was he was a writer. He was the beat writer for Tennessee football and basketball.
Right. Yeah. Rick Barnes has said wonderful things about him today, and so just the prayers go out to his wife and children. Yeah, and there are probably some other injuries in the wreck as well. If it was that bad. But, it's very sad.
It is very, very sad. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the decision has been made about Joey Aguilar, and we're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. We'll be back after this.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
This is your Hardees 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match alarm. We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready. Or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any two for just $5 for a limited time. Only at Hardees. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
When an emergency happens, every second counts. That is why Park Ridge Health System is working to bring a new, high-quality, 24/7 freestanding emergency room right here to Cleveland. This ER will expand access for families in Cleveland and Bradley County, and it will give Polk County something it doesn't have today: dependable, around-the-clock emergency care. Together, we can make it happen. Visit ParkRidgeClevelandER.com to learn more and add your voice in support. That's ParkRidgeClevelandER.com.
Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps? Dr. John Milligan at Milligan Vein offers office treatment that can make you look and feel better within a day. And your procedure is covered by most insurance. Visit MilliganVein.com.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians, $22 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one. Medical, dental, and vision insurance, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com. And, of course, when we left, we were talking about Joey Aguilar. And the news, it's breaking news because it happened less than a half hour ago. Joey Aguilar has been denied as far as getting another year to play college football. Joey Aguilar's request for a preliminary injunction giving him another season of eligibility was denied in court on Friday. So I guess it's on to the NFL for Joey Aguilar. I'm sure he'll be in the draft. Whether he gets drafted, I don't know. I know he's not invited to the combine, but, he'll have his pro day there in Knoxville, and we'll see how he performs. I don't know if he's an NFL guy or not, but I know he's got. I feel, and I'm going to sound like, I feel a little bit better about Aguilar than I do Pavia because of the size difference. Pavia is so small, and anyone that's ever listened to me on this show knows I'm all about bigger quarterbacks. I like bigger, thicker guys. So,
do you think somebody takes a waiver on Aguilar? Like a sixth or seventh round pick kind of thing?
Might, and if nothing else, he'll get an invitation. He'll get maybe a non-drafted invitation that's somewhere. He'll get his shot. Get his shot. We'll see. I think he looks the part. He's got a decent arm. He's got some mobility. But we'll have to wait and see.
He's got an attitude too.
He does have an attitude. He doesn't have the attitude that Pavia's got. Pavia's got the attitude. Pavia, and it's so weird because I saw a story from Todd McShay. Todd McShay absolutely does not believe that Pavia will even get drafted.
Right, yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like, golly, this guy, he was a Heisman finalist, but the NFL, they're funny about this stuff, man. They measure these people, and there are exceptions. All right, Drew Brees is an exception. Drew Brees was a shorter guy that had tremendous success, but Drew Brees was so accurate, and he could read a defense, and his skill set was so unique. So a smaller, shorter guy like him could have a lot of success. But, man, those guys are far and few between.
Doug Flutie was one of those small guys, too. He got his shot, but that was maybe because of that one throw he made.
Yeah, against Boston College versus Miami on, what was it, the Friday after Thanksgiving back in, 84, 85, whatever it was. Yeah, Hail Flutie. I'll still never forget that. My mom, my late mom, was in town. She had come down to spend Thanksgiving with us. And we had gone out on that Friday. I missed the first half of that game, okay? But I got back to watch the entire second half and, of course, the last play of the game. But, Doug Flutie was one of those guys. By the way, you know what Doug Flutie's famous for? He's the last guy to kick have a drop kick in the NFL. He made a drop kick.
Right.
Yeah, so that's his claim to fame.
One of the interesting things about Aguilar is his court case wasn't like he was in Birmingham or Miami or something. He was in Knoxville, Tennessee. So if he was going to have any favor, he was going to get it because that's where he was.
And how do you? And I've got my opinion here. And here's Tennessee's. What they were trying to use is that he hadn't played 4 years of NCAA football because junior college is not under the NCAA umbrella. My thing is, your clock starts when the word college football is in junior college football. When you play college, your clock starts, and you need to be done after 4 years of playing college football, whether it's under the NCAA umbrella or if it's under NAIA or whatever. But that's how I feel. Now, a lot of people were on Tennessee's side that, hey, he didn't play NCAA football. What's your opinion? Do you have one?
I don't like the idea of these guys playing forever. You got a loophole for having COVID. You got a loophole for a broke leg. You got a loophole because you were in junior college. You just need to play your football. And my guess is he thinks he may not make it in the NFL. So if he can have an NIL deal at UT for one more year and make a couple $1 million bucks, he's probably going to be, okay. But
because if you're a fourth round pick or fifth round pick, you're not going to make what he was making in Knoxville.
I want him to go away and let's see what George and Faison can do.
See, and I was going to ask you that because George McIntyre and Faison, the freshmen, they're coming in. My thing, and I don't know, we'll never know now. My thing, had Aguilar been granted this, I'm sitting there going, all right, who's gonna leave the school?
Because one of those guys is gone.
I think so too. I think one of those guys are all gone too. And I'm like, you got 2 5-star guys battling it out in the springtime. To me, long term wise, I think Tennessee's better because of this. I think because Aguilar's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. I think one of these two guys has an opportunity to be a great quarterback. And by the way, Kevin Johnson wearing a shirt with the Power T on it. So it's not like you're a Georgia fan and you're glad that Tennessee didn't get him because he's a risk to your team. You're a Tennessee fan and you didn't agree that he should get to play.
I want him guy. They have a third quarterback that's in the room that transferred in from. I don't even know the guy's name or where he came from, but I want to see what the two young guys could do.
That's me. I'm like that too. I want to see these young guys get a shot. I'm one of these. I'm okay having 5 years to play, 4 years of football. But after that, you need to go.
So what do you think about a guy that goes and plays baseball for 2 or 3 years and then comes back and does he get to play 4 years of football then?
We've had Chris Winkie did that.
Right.
Chris Winkie did that for Florida State. He's playing a different sport. I guess I'm okay with that. Your football clock or your collegiate athletics clock hasn't begun ticking yet. I don't have a problem with that. But if you're playing football, the clock starts. I'm like, it's time to go. Now if Joey Aguilar could play a different sport or something like that, I guess he shouldn't be able to do that either. There comes a point it's time to go. It's time to get out of college, go to the pros. If you can't make it there, do something else. Get into coaching. If you want to stay around the game long enough, I'm sure he could probably find a job as a coach somewhere.
Who was the guy who played like 15 seasons in the NBA, retired, and then came back and finished his 2 years of eligibility playing college golf? Like a couple years ago.
That was in North Carolina, wasn't it?
I think it was like he was in North Carolina, but it wasn't at North Carolina. It was like a D2 school.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember the story. But
which is a much more stretched out version of the same thing because the man was probably 35, 40 years old, but still had eligibility left, but played a completely different sport and played quite well, actually.
Yeah, the NCAA, their thing is they want people to have, after you've left high school, there's a 5-year window, and if you haven't played, that you can't play after 5 years of high school. I get that, and I'm sure that some smaller school, NAIA or something like that, they don't have the rules that the NCAA has, and that's probably what this guy did.
North Carolina A&T.
Okay, they're not even
J.R. Smith.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that at a smaller. Listen, if you were in the Army for 6 years and you want to play at Cleveland State, I'm fine with that. Cleveland State's not an NCAA school. At Lee, I'd have a problem with it because Lee is under the NCAA umbrella. So that's where I am as far as that goes. I don't know. It is what it is, but I do want to make sure that we remind everyone, in case you're just now tuning in, that tonight's boys semifinal of the district tournament has been postponed. It was scheduled for Ooltewah High School. So anyone out there, you're in your car, maybe you're thinking of driving down, don't do it. Don't do it because the gym it's closed. Okay,
it's either hot or cold. We don't know.
There's an HVAC issue there. So, like you said, were they worried about the air conditioning or were they worried about the heating? I guess it depends on if it was, now today, it was gorgeous out there today, by the way. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous out there.
Good fishing day.
But, man, once the sun goes, yes, like you would. Every day is a good fishing day, isn't it?
Yeah,
well, just about. No, so it's one of those things where, we don't want anyone to head on down to Ooltewah because there is nothing taking place. When we get the information that we can, share it with you, we'll let you know about what's going to happen tomorrow. But we don't want to give any information. We don't exactly have it in front of us, so we're going to just say tonight's date night with your honey, right? Take your kids out, go to, Well,
if you're going to the game without the kids, you got the babysitter taken care of already. So yeah, you got the date night.
There you go.
If kids were going, then you're going to CC's.
And there may and there may be a good movie on somewhere. I don't know. Do they still have the playground over there at the McDonald's and Chick-fil-A?
Sadly, most of those have gotten closed up.
Okay,
but you have Deer Park. You take them over to Deer Park.
You got the new one over on Candy's Lane, the Jim Sharp Park. Man,
that is true.
Right.
Yeah,
I went by that the other day. Saw
great. Got trampolines in the ground, all kind of stuff.
That's cool. And listen, as members of Westwood, we'll say go to Westwood. We got a nice little playground for the kids over there.
Newly renovated.
That's right. Did you do any of that work, by the way?
No. That was sweat involved in that.
Oh my goodness! All right, I want to get your opinion on this. The Florida Senate passed the Teddy Bridgewater bill to allow high school coaches to pay for athletes' benefits, and this was following an incident that happened this past year when Teddy Bridgewater was suspended from his high school coaching duties because he had, I guess, loaned one of his students some money. Now they're saying that bill allows for a head coach to use his personal funds to provide financial assistance to their players so long as they report what they spend.
And there's a cap also. I think there's an annual cap of like
how much?
15,000 or something. It's a very, relatively speaking, limited amount. And I think it's intended for your students who are less fortunate, who need new shoes, who need a meal, who need that kind of thing. This is not... I don't ever take this as some kind of extension of the NIL or something.
No, but he got in some serious trouble doing
Isn't
it
that
last
what
year.
Bruce Pearl got in trouble for at UT?
That was a picnic at his house. Yeah.
Something about McDonald's
It
bags.
may have been a little bit more than a picnic, but, here we are.
By the way, you think Bruce Pearl is being missed at Auburn right now? I mean, his son, Stevens, he's not. Bruce Pearl, I love that guy. In fact, he's still my favorite all-time Tennessee basketball coach. I know Rick Barnes has done some great things.
Painted chest and all that.
Yeah, when he did that for Pat Summitt. He's still my favorite. Like I said, he's my favorite UT head coach. And I'll always wonder, had that not happened to him, and he had the show cause and he couldn't coach for a while, I think Tennessee basketball might have won a national championship with him at the helm. I really believe that.
Did you see where he called out the Alabama coach the other day?
Yes.
About that guy that was coming back from the G League and all that. He was like, he didn't give a crap.
No, he didn't. And listen, I love Bruce Pearl. Like I said, he is like he was a perfect fit at UT.
He seems like a regular guy.
He does. And I'll tell you this much. When Rick Barnes got the job at UT, I thought, okay, he's all right. He's okay. He's no Bruce Pearl. Rick Barnes made a believer out of me. This guy knows what he's doing, and he gets the best out of some of his kids. He's got a really good team this year. And Ryan was asking me earlier, he goes, do you think Tennessee's a Final Four team? I said, today I would say no, but I mean, the way that college basketball is, you get on that hot run once in the March Madness begins.
You win 6 games?
Yeah. You got to only got to win 4 games to go to the Final Four. You got to win 6 games to win a national championship. But Tennessee's an interesting team. That's one of those teams where which Tennessee team you get to get. We've seen the Vols look incredible, like they did the other night against Oklahoma, and then we've seen the Vols blow double-digit leads to Kentucky, not once but twice. So I don't know which Tennessee team's going to show up.
I just don't understand. We're big Lady Vol fans. We have season tickets, and I tell my brother all the time, if they're going to collapse, it's going to be in the third quarter. The guys play halves, but the ladies play quarters. And so you go into halftime, and you get to sit down and rest for 20 minutes, and you get to talk about what's going on, and then you come out and collapse in the third quarter. That doesn't make any sense to me. But the boys, there just comes times where they couldn't throw it in the ocean if they were standing there on the beach.
And my thing about them is those 2 second half games they've blown against Kentucky, that's concerning to me. I'm sitting there going, yeah, I've seen Tennessee do this not once but twice. When it looked like they were in complete control. I mean, it's bad enough to do it in Lexington, but to do it at home at Thompson Bowling Arena in front of your home fans, that was a gut punch to the Vols. And like I said, they beat the you-know-what out of Oklahoma the other night, but Oklahoma is not as good as Kentucky. Right. And Arkansas is really good. The SEC is a really good basketball league this year. They're not maybe as good as they were last year. Last year, the SEC was ridiculously good.
Yeah, I don't think they have anybody projected to be a 1 or 2 seed for right now. They got 1-3 seed.
I mean, they put
a bunch of good. They beat each other up too.
They had 14 teams in the NCAA tournament last year. Right now, they're projected to have 9 or 10, depending on which one you look at. But no, the SEC it's tough, and it's hard to win on the road. It is hard to win on the road. There's a lot of what I call pits out there to where you may have the better team, but that crowd and the environment, it can be a very, very difficult place.
Makes a difference.
What did you ever been to Memorial Gym in Nashville where Vanderbilt plays?
No.
I'm going to tell you something. One of these days you need to do it. It is the most unique arena I've ever been in my life.
Has anybody ever fallen off the floor?
It's like a stage. And now the stage is pretty wide. You'd have to be good, probably 20 feet before you'd slide off the sides. I don't know how deep they are in the end zones, but it is a unique place. You can tell that place has been added on multiple times because it's like you've got 4 quadrants of stands on each sideline and in each end zone. Then you got these gigantic walls that separate. You can't even see. If you're on the sideline, you can't see the people sitting in the end zone because there's walls and stuff like that. It's the darndest thing, but it's a great atmosphere. I love that place.
I've been by, with my son being over at Vanderbilt to see the doctor, we've been by the football field, and I'm just amazed how small that place is.
Yeah,
because there's nowhere for it to go. I mean, it is landlocked. There's nothing they're going. If they need to build bigger, and I think they have some plans for that. But I can see where, Vanderbilt's all about the brain, they're not about the brawn.
Although these days, Vanderbilt's good in just about every sport. They're really good. 2 years in a row, they've been really good in football. And now basketball seems to have made a little bit of a push here, and baseball. They've been good at baseball.
Well, these baseball players are smart.
This coming from, by the way, where did you play baseball again?
I played at Chattanooga State and at Carson Newman.
Carson Newman, yeah, yeah. You've told me some good stories there about there was a unique play you told me about one time at Carson Newman that you said I don't know if it's ever happened anywhere else again. And what was that you told me? I'll tell you what. I'll think about that. We need to hit a break. When we come back, we'll get in. We'll see if I can remember what it was you told me. But when we come back, we're going to talk about. Do Georgia football players need to take driving courses? Once again, you're listening.
They're apparently pretty good at it. They just don't wreck. They just have other issues.
You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. We'll be back after this.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
For a limited time, get Hardee's Big Cheeseburger with 100% American Angus beef for just $4.99. That's a deal no one can beat. Actually, we can beat it. Because you can also get Hardee's ham-breaded chicken sandwich for $4.99. The Pick a Sandwich deal. Only $4.99. Only for a limited time. Only at Hardee's. Participating restaurants only. Tax not included.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our urgent ortho walk-in clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Cleveland, the all-new Select Flooring and Remodeling is now open at 5555 North Lee Highway. We carry the top flooring brands you know and trust: Mohawk, Shaw, Engineer Floors, and United Weavers. We also specialize in home remodeling and roofing, delivering quality you can count on. Take advantage of 24 months interest-free credit. Come see us Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 2. Call us today at 423-889-3007. That's Select Flooring and Remodeling, 5555 North Lee Highway, Cleveland. From the floors to the roof, we've got you covered.
When you need a new roof, it's all about trust. Your home is too big an investment and you can't afford to make a mistake. Cleveland Plywood has the products and expertise you're looking for. Contractors have trusted them for over 50 years, and they carry only proven products from reputable suppliers like IKO. IKO Cambridge is one of the heaviest weight asphalt shingles you can buy, and their limited warranties are among the industry's best. Protect the investment you've made in your home. Go with the pros at Cleveland Plywood, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland. Call 472-3357. Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Mayfield Dairy Chocolate Milk is a great recovery drink for athletes or anyone who exercises. Rich in calcium and vitamin D, get Mayfield's famous chocolate milk at multiple locations near you. Find out more at mayfielddairy.com. And once again, for those of you that may not have heard earlier or just now tuning in, tonight's boys semifinal of the district tournament, the semifinals have been postponed. So no games tonight in Ottawa. So hope you didn't make the drive down there. But if you did, there's some good restaurants around there. So I'll just say that.
Go over to the little common area over there.
Okay. What in the world is going on at the University of Georgia? It seemed like every month or so we'll hear something. Apparently, Georgia linebackers Chris Cole and Darren Ingesbon, I don't know how you pronounce his name, were arrested on Wednesday night with each player facing misdemeanor driving charges. We're aware of the charges and are actively gathering additional information, said school spokesperson Stephen Drummond. As an ongoing legal matter, we will not be providing further comment at this time. It is unbelievable how often this happens at the University of Georgia. Apparently, these two guys were going in excess of 100 miles an hour. That's what I heard.
You know, the last guy that did it, didn't he kill somebody?
There was I think a female was involved, and she did pass away. But they've had multiple ones since then. But it's just like an ongoing thing. If I'm Kirby Smart, before I ever have a practice, I'm going to sit down, everyone down, and goes, guys, anything that has to do with driving, if you get arrested, you're off the team, or you're suspended for the entire year. You put down those kind of laws to the team, and maybe he'll get. But it's unbelievable. It's always something to do with a car, with the Georgia Bulldog football player.
And so you want to think this is just status quo for college kids. These just Georgia football players just happen to get caught all the time. But my goodness, you've got to, and I don't know if drug testing, you know, do you drug test for alcohol? Then you wouldn't have a football team or a baseball team or a basketball team.
You're probably right.
But you've got to do it. If it just keeps on and on and on, the buck stops somewhere.
Yeah, and it has to be the head coach.
It's got to be, if it's your starting quarterback, oh, well, it was your starting quarterback. It's got to, something's got to hurt.
Yeah. If you don't do anything, they're not going to take you serious.
Right.
So, anyway, all right, I got to get your opinion on this. You being the baseball player. And by the way, I did remember what it was. You picked off 3 guys in one inning when you were in high school, correct?
Correct, yeah.
I've never heard of that ever in my life.
So I was playing for Bradley High School. We were in Chattanooga at the Lookout Classic. This would have been in 1984, the old Ingalls Stadium. We were playing Hickson High School. And sometimes I was relief pitcher, sometimes I started. This particular day, I came out of the bullpen, bases loaded, nobody out. And we had trick plays for pickoffs and all this stuff, but I picked off all 3 guys and never threw a pitch to home plate.
That is awesome. I've never heard of that in my entire life.
And my wife would say, how do you remember that? Well, you don't forget stuff like that.
No, that I've never heard of that. And honestly, I've never heard of that. All right, I got to get your opinion on Major League Baseball. We're going to have the ABS, automatic ball and strike challenge system in Major League Baseball. And I didn't realize this. Each pitch is tracked by 12 hawk eye cameras set up around the perimeter of every ballpark in Major League Baseball. And, of course, the strike zone, the width is the same for everybody, but the height and everything varies from player to player. Like Aaron Judge, his strike zones can be a lot higher than Altuve, So what's your opinion on the ABS challenge system in Major League Baseball?
Well, I'm all about getting it right, whether it's football, baseball, basketball. You got reviews. I don't like the fact that it takes forever on some of these reviews. According to this, it's going to be 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And so
football can learn a lot from this.
Yeah, you can only do it twice a game, and if you're right, then you get an extra one. So it's not that big of a deal. But when you got Angel Hernandez, and I don't know if he's still around
he's
or
not, but they got that. They got another one who's just as bad.
When you miss 25 a game, two's not enough.
I mean, he was horrible.
He was worse than horrible.
Yeah, he was horrible. And I can't remember the other guy. He's notoriously poor. And of course, I saw the stats. They ranked all the umpires from 1 till I don't know how many umpires are, but he was dead last when it comes to balls and strikes.
But you know what? He's still an MLB umpire.
He is, because that you talk about a strong union.
Yeah, try to get rid of him.
Yeah, that's next to impossible to get rid of him. Now, that means talking about unions. There's all this talk about Major League Baseball that in December of this year that there could be a lockout. And you and I, we've endured this enough. I'm almost to the point where if you all do this to me one more time, and I'm gonna just bail on you. I hope they don't do this. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but they've got to. Are you a pro or anti cap guy when it comes to salary cap?
I say pay them whatever they want. If you can afford it, pay them. Now, does that help Pittsburgh and some of these other, lower salary,
Well, I think there needs to be a salary cap, but also a salary floor, to where you can't be the cheap, like the Pirates and the Royals and the Reds. Their salary, I mean, the Dodgers infield is as much as the Pirates' entire payroll. I mean, it is.
Yeah, I've always, and you could never do this. You'd never be able to make it work because the contracts go into the future. But I always said a home run ought to be worth X amount of dollars if you're a batter. An RBI is worth X amount of dollars. A stolen base is worth X. If you're a pitcher, every inning you pitch or every strikeout you but then also if you strike out, we're going to take some money away.
Boy, I tell you what, the way these guys, the way guys strike out nowadays, it's unbelievable. It seems like it's either a clout or a strikeout. Mm-hmm. It's either a home run or someone strikes out. There's hardly putting the ball in play and moving runners around.
Small ball doesn't work anymore.
Small ball just nobody. The analytics have made baseball. I'm not gonna say unwatchable because I love it, but it's frustrating. I see, and guys, they're not embarrassed when they strike out. I remember when Tony Gwynn rarely struck out. He actually came out and said, he goes, I'm embarrassed because I struck out. I mean, I think he struck out twice in one game, like a handful of times in his entire career. This guy just put the ball in play. Rod Carew, guys like that, they put the ball in play. To me, they were valuable. Mm-hmm. They got on base. They would put the ball in play, move guys around, maybe knock in some runs. But then they're on base now too. And so when you've got a guy on base, you pitch to the next guy a little differently. You're pitching from the stretch. You're not going through the full windup. So putting the ball in play and moving guys like that, to me, is so underrated.
Yeah, it'd take a real giant computer to figure it out. But if you had 9 Tony Gwynns in your lineup and you had 9 Aaron Judges in your lineup, who scores the most runs? I guarantee the Tony Gwynn lineup scores more runs.
I think they do too. And I do. And listen, and Aaron Judge is a bad example because he actually does put the ball in play.
Yeah,
he hit over 300
hitter.
So who is another guy that hits a ton of homers?
Dave Kingman.
Oh my gosh. Dave Kingman. Yeah, he was a clout or an out. That's who he was. But you're right. So give me guys that put the ball in play, and I'm with you. I think more often than not 100%, but I think more often than not, they're going to be able to find a way to put more runs on the board because they just know how to play ball.
And if you wanted them to bunt, they'll probably bunt and be successful at it, where these other guys are going to say, I've never done that in my life.
Yeah, no doubt. Are you into the Olympics? Got to ask you that. Are you into the Olympics? Because it's ending this weekend, by the way.
I'll watch it. It's sports. It's on. I'm not into. I mean, I kind of like to watch the skiing stuff when they're doing 70 miles an hour down the mountain, but I want to see them wreck though.
So you're not you're not into the curling?
Well, I don't know the rules. It's like hockey. The very first hockey game I ever saw in Nashville, they had 6 fights. I'm like, this is the greatest game ever. And I've never seen more than one fight at a hockey game since. But, yeah, Summer Olympics, when they were in Atlanta, we went down and watched some track and field. We saw Michael Johnson in his gold shoes. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I went down to the Olympics a couple times myself.
You know,
I went down before the bombing and after the bombing. It was night and day as far as the way that you went through multiple, places where they put the wand on you. You go through after it. Before it was like just walk right in. It was easy peasy.
But yeah, as far as watching the gymnastics, and now my wife, the world stopped last night when the ladies figure skating was on. Yeah, because we'd heard. Of course, we already heard that she had won. Everything was ruined, but still, she wanted to see it. By the way,
the ratings wise, that kills it. And the ladies skating will beat the hockey and the downhill and the speed skating, the luge, the bobsled, all that stuff. That's the number one rated thing that's going on.
It probably beats most of the Summer Olympics viewing outside of
gymnastics does really well.
Those are probably your top two.
So we're watching it. The luge would be something I'd want to do. But I mean, are there places all over there where you can go luge just for the fun of it?
Practicing? I don't know.
I mean, it's a everyday guy wants to go luge. Is there places?
I used
every
to
town
wonder,
have one?
There's a handful, but they're not common. No.
When Jamaica had their bobsled team, and I guess they still do.
They do.
Where do they practice? I mean, they have to go somewhere, maybe over there, Norway or somewhere.
I think it's like a lot of U.S. Olympic practice, at least for the Winter Olympics, all happens in Colorado
Springs.
So
that's
I think it's probably a travel to.
You think that's where Jamaica does it? In North America, that's probably the only place there is, or in Canada maybe.
There was a guy from, I want to say he represented Brazil in skiing, and he's the first South American to ever win a medal. Now, he was from Norway.
Yeah.
He had moved down there, and his mother was from there, and so that's how he got to represent. But he was the only one that had ever.
Brazil has won one medal, and it's a gold.
Yeah,
listen, if you're gonna win, you might as well win number one.
Yeah.
And by the way, like right now, the medal count, Norway has 37 total medals, 17 gold. By the way, 17 gold is the most of all time in one Olympiad.
Really?
So Norway has done better than any team or any country ever. The United States is second with 28 total medals and 10 gold. Now, to me, I'm a gold medal guy. I want to know who came in first place. I'm not so interested in the guy that came in second, third. Now, maybe that's the mentality.
His NIL deal's not going to be so good. The gold medals guy's going to get it.
I want the gold medal guys, man. But Norway's winning in both total and gold. So, and they've built up such a big they padded their lead so big. The United States cannot possibly catch those guys.
I looked up the other day what one of those medals was worth, because it's not really gold. It's mostly
gold plated.
It's just teeny tiny amount of gold, and the rest of it is silver. And the silver medal is silver.
Is that right?
Yeah, and the bronze was bronze, but the gold one's not gold.
So is the silver actually more valuable?
Probably.
Monetarily than the gold medal?
Probably.
I did not know
it
that.
At least would be pure silver versus.
Well, if nothing else, they should make the gold medals silver gold plated instead of maybe bronze gold plated. I don't know how they do it, but I did not know that. Yeah. But I know that the United States is doing pretty good, and hopefully they can maybe win the men's gold medal in ice hockey. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I do want to say this. I know we've just got we got about 6 minutes to go. Are you a big college basketball fan, regular season wise?
I keep up with Tennessee, and that's about it.
Okay, because it's so funny. Here we are on a Friday, and there's been little to no talk about the game that's going on tomorrow. Number 1 Michigan playing a non-conference game against number 3 Duke. in a regular season game. And if this was college football, if this was number 1 versus number 3, we would have been hyping that game up for a week and a half. But here we are on Friday, and that game has flown under the radar. Now, I don't know if it has a lot to do with the Olympics or what, but there's almost no pub being given to that game. By the way, it's being played in Washington, D.C. It's a neutral site. Michigan at the Edward Jones Capitol Showcase in Washington, D.C. at 6:30 tomorrow evening. These two schools have not met since 2013. And will this be a national championship game preview like it was in 91 and 92? I think these may be the two best teams in the country. In fact, it's unfortunate that there's not a poll taken before that game, because it's almost guaranteed that Duke would move up to number 2, because Arizona's lost a couple games.
That Boozer dude is a stud.
Yeah. So I'm going to try my best to watch this game, assuming my wife doesn't have plans for us.
With the new
grandbaby. Listen, you got that right. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited about this game. I think Michigan and Duke in the regular season in college basketball is great for the sport. But, like I said, it's not getting any notoriety. One more thing I want to get into you. What do you got there?
All right, so the Olympic medals, a gold medal is worth $2,300.
That's not bad.
A silver medal is worth $1,400.
That's not bad, too.
The bronze medal, $6.
Are you serious?
In terms of what the actual material.
That's what it is. Comparison of Olympic medals.
$2,300, $1,400, and $6.
Because, these things still sell for tens of thousands of dollars.
If you won one and you auctioned it, you're going to get some money. But as far as this is
the actual material.
Congratulations.
That is wild. I did not know that. I thought, you telling me what the gold medal and the silver medal was worth, it doesn't shock me. The shocker was how little the bronze medal is worth. I mean, for crying out loud, the ribbon goes around it might be worth as much as $6.
Probably.
Golly.
Don't melt that one down and sell it.
No, don't melt that one down for sure. All right, got to get your take on this. The state of Indiana unanimously passed a bill to try to lure the Bears away from Chicago. First off, I don't think it's going to happen. I think somehow the state of Illinois will step up and they'll do something to convince the Chicago Bears to stay in the state of Illinois, even if it's not in the city limits of Chicago. But, man, there are some upset people up there right now. They are not happy with their mayor. They're not happy with their governor. And I think it's kind of funny to me.
Though, added, show me the money.
That's what's going on here.
That's what you're going to have. But, you can't have the Bears in Indiana. That just doesn't work.
I know, because it's one thing. Listen, it's one thing for the Dallas Cowboys to play in Arlington, but they're in the state of Texas. The San Francisco 49ers play in Santa Clara. That's okay. It's still in the Bay Area. And the Buffalo Bills play in Orchard Park. But, of course, you do have the Giants and Jets. They physically play in another state, New Jersey.
But nobody really cares.
But apparently it's not a big deal up there. But, man, the stuff coming out of Chicago. I saw Michael Wilbon talking about this. He was furious about this.
Isn't that where he's from?
Yeah, he's from Chicago. He's from Chicago. He was furious about this. Listen, when I think of Northwest Indiana, I think of Gary, Indiana. By the way, the hometown of the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson. That's where they're from.
My wife was born right there close, too.
Really?
She was born in Hammond.
That's where this
we
would
always
be.
Say, Gary, people knows where that is.
Yeah. Hammond is where this would be.
Okay.
Hammond, little trivia question, trivia knowledge, I should say. The NFL began in 1920. In 1920, the Chicago Bears were called the Decatur Staleys. They played in Decatur, Illinois. They moved to Chicago the next year. In 1920, there was an NFL team in Hammond, Indiana, called the Hammond Pros for 1 year. But the city of Hammond has been the site of an NFL franchise at one point in their illustrious history. So other than Terry Johnson, what other famous persons coming from? That's his wife, by the way. What other famous people or famous things are coming from Hammond, Indiana?
So if they move, will they keep the name the Bears?
I would think
or will
so.
they let them
No,
will Chicago say, we're going to keep that. We're going to do franchise one of these days, and we're going to keep that name?
Because you're not going to call
Cleveland
them
Brown style.
You're not going to
Exactly.
you're not going to call them the Indiana Bears. They'll keep Bears, and I still think they'll stay Chicago. I mean, the New York Jets and New York Giants are still New York. I mean, the Giants have a big NY on their helmets anyway. But they have played in New Jersey. I think the Giants moved there in 1976, and I think the Jets moved in 1985. But so they've maintained the name New York Giants, New York Jets. In fact, the only team that's playing in the state of New York are the Buffalo Bills. I mean, that's the only.
Where do the Yankees and the Mets play?
No, that's football.
Oh, okay.
Football.
Yeah.
No, the Yankees still play in the Bronx, and the Mets play in. Of course, Andy likes to say Flushing, and I say they play in Queens. You know, but I mean, it is interesting. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I do believe that the state of Illinois will step up and say, no. You're not leaving. We're going to give you a sweetheart deal. We're going to build you a new dome stadium. Maybe the NFL reward you with a Super Bowl one of these years.
The Hallis family still own the Bears?
Yes. Yeah.
So are they?
Virginia McCaskey, she passed away this past year. They had a little logo on their jersey this year. But no, the Virginia McCaskey, the McCaskey family is now controlling it. It was the Hallis family. Now it's the McCaskies. But that's all a big family-owned business, has been since, when they were founded in 1920. George Hallis founded that team and coached them for all those years. But I just cannot imagine them not playing in the state of Illinois. And I think they'll play. I think they'll probably play in Arlington Heights, but we shall see. Anyway, Kevin, I appreciate you coming on the air with
Absolutely,
us today.
anytime.
And I've had a blast. And I guess I will see you Sunday at church.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, hope everyone out there has a good Friday. And
No ball game.
No, that's correct. No ball games at the in Ooltewah today. Hey, you've been listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. We'll see everyone on Monday.
It's time for a Don Ledford of Cleveland traffic update on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Don Ledford Chevrolet GMC, located on North Lee Highway in Cleveland. Or visit donledford.com for details. Don Ledford, where we say yes. It's on-time traffic with Commander Chuck.
Well, good evening. It's heavy in the normal spots right now for this time of day on 75 as you head up through the construction zone, especially northbound on 75.
From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
When financial storms hit, we help you stay steady. Reach out to Alon Planning Partners today.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Your current Milligan Vane temperature is 70 degrees. MilliganVane.com.
Good morning. This is your Hardees 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match alarm. We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready, or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any two for just $5 for a limited time, only at Hardees. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
You're listening to Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. The ESPN Cleveland 101.3 lineup is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. WholesaleSupply.us. Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Cleveland Tire Center having a huge sale on Goodyear tires. Buy 3 Goodyears, get 1 free. Don't forget the Cleveland Tire Center service department for alignments, oil changes, and more. Cleveland Tire Center, 4699 North Lee Highway, where the name says it all. Goodyear, more driven.
From the Kia of Cleveland studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 1013, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 1013.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Mix 104.1, Cleveland's Oldies 99.1, also ESPN Cleveland 101.3. It has been a day of back and forth announcements, but I can now report that the District 5 4A boys basketball semifinals are postponed officially. It's been a long day, folks, of differing announcements, and quite frankly, never seen anything like it. However, we are able to tell you that the games are postponed for tonight. We are anticipating hearing more from the athletic officials in the district by tomorrow, but this is what we're going on right now. And this is actually the final word for tonight is the games are postponed at Walker Valley. So originally was going to be at Ottawa. Then they were moved to Walker Valley. The games, the boys semis tonight, Cleveland Bradley, and then Walker Valley East Hamilton. And then those games were then postponed. So that's where we are. No games for tonight. And as I was just told, more information to come. So stay with us. You can also go to our website and our social media for more. I'm Steve Hartline reporting.
But I think the schedule is manageable. I would say right now, I think somewhere above 500 or above, I would say.
Well, that's great. I think all business and no nonsense will get you a little further along too. So seems to be where he's going with that program.
JD, thank you. Thank you for calling. John is up next in Louisville. Hey, John.
Hey, and a shout out to USA Hockey, who will meet Canada for the gold medal on Sunday.
Okay, John, anything else?
Well, yeah, good afternoon. And Paul, I'm emotionally crushed. Back 3 years ago when when Legend was handing out those black hats like Oprah giving away cars, I received one of those coveted black hats, now realizing it had a short shelf life. But
I didn't realize you had a black hat taken. See, here's what I don't mean to disagree with I-Man. He may have just forgotten. But I thought Pressure Washer had a black hat. I thought a couple other people had a black hat. So we need, I know Legend's covering spring training right now, but we need an accountant to certify how many black hats are out there.
Oh, he was giving away like candy.
Hey, John, John, I don't mean to inject myself into the show, but I thought I had a black hat.
You did. You did.
I mean, doesn't he call me my black hat brother?
He absolutely does.
I mean, there are some missing black hats.
Yeah. Hey, before we get to the Tennessee court case, Paul, I thought there was an entertaining call from Old School today. First, he suggested financial help from you as the best man and hinted at a bachelor party, and then he didn't want a bachelor party. And his really, really good friend told you to either slow down or slow your roll when you mentioned the word wedding. Did you notice that?
Yeah, and John, we've both been around a couple of years. I didn't take that as a good. I didn't take that as a good sign.
Yeah, I agree. So, Paul, don't you think the NCAA attorneys are happy they blew off the Mississippi judge and left early to prepare for the court case in Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, for all the criticism, it turned out pretty well.
And the most shocking part of this, Paul, the most shocking aspect of this legal decision is our esteemed in-house counsel, William, got it wrong. I know he's a Tennessee fan, but would you agree William was a stone-cold lock on Aguilar or whatever his name is winning the case, as I recall?
Aguilar, he was. By the way, we have not heard from William since the ruling came out.
He's appealing. Well, at least he's got his college degrees. Joey does. Okay, Paul, have a great weekend.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the Tugboat is up next in Tuscaloosa. Hello, Tugboat.
Paul,
I'm so excited to be on the air. Long-time listener, first-time caller, and this Joey Aguilar business is unbelievable to me. I mean, how in the world is Tennessee going to replace a quarterback that can throw for 4 or 5 goal line interceptions every year? I mean, what are they going to do, Paul? How much NIL money is it going to cost to find a quarterback who can lose to Alabama 15 out of the last 16 years? You know what? I don't know. You may not know, but you know who I can figure that out? I'm pretty sure it's Coach Heupel. Huh? Hey, Paul, this judge, do you think this is the first time that the bribe money will be – I'm sorry, NIL money. This is the first time the NIL money will be used to keep a player from participating in sports at a school? I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody will ever know, but I do know that I kind of want to be that judge right now. Huh? How about that? He may not be welcome in Knoxville anymore, but I'm pretty sure he's got a mansion in Bora Bora at this point. Paul, the real reason I called tonight.
Hey, talk about that judge probably got a notice today that his 50-yard line seats, he is now sitting outside of Neyland Stadium.
Oh, Lord, he's out on the street at this point. And you know what? Hey, we'll get him down here in Tuscaloosa, and you know what? We'll get us another Bediako out there. We'll see if Mark Ingram wants to come back. How's that sound?
Tugboat, it sounds great. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it very, very much.
Thanks,
and let's check out Eric, who is up next. Hello, Eric. Good afternoon.
Hey, Paul. How you doing today?
Hey there. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Thank you.
Love the show. The reason I'm calling today, Paul, to talk about the path that Auburn's on right now. After the banquet dinner the other night, I had a small press conference after the dinner, and Andy Burcham asked Byron Brown, how would you describe your running style? And he said one word: violent.
Wow.
Well,
I like that.
I got fired up when I heard that, Paul. I'll tell you what. And I really like what's going on right now. They've locked down the number 1 recruit in the state for 2027, defensive tackle. And I really like who he's bringing in, the running backs and all that he's bringing in. I really look forward to this coming season, and I hadn't been able to say that as an Auburn fan for quite a time.
Hey, thank you very much, Eric. We are up against a break. If you want to get in, we'll find you a spot here in the final 45 minutes. 855-242-7285 is our number. Plenty of time. Back after this.
If you're tired of hearing scary ads about the IRS, Tax Relief Advocates wants you to know you don't have to be afraid. No matter what challenging life situation you're facing while owing 10 or even hundreds of thousands in back taxes to the IRS, we have a solution. TRA has already negotiated over $1.5 billion in taxes owed by over 180,000 struggling taxpayers since 2017, earning over 1,000 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Generous tax debt forgiveness programs are currently available that can end your tax nightmare and may reduce or eliminate what you owe the IRS. If you're facing collections or an audit, don't lose hope. Act now to check what tax relief you may qualify for. Simply visit TRA.com or call 800-583-4890. 800-583-4890. Again, that's 800-583-4890. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 1013. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
Before the next front rolls in, make sure your financial plan is ready. Reach out to Alon Planning Partners today.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 1013.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the General Manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees.
Check your wallet. Empty? Check your bills. Overdue? Check your stress level. Maxed? Now, Check Into Cash. Check Into Cash is your one-stop money shop, and we've got everything you need. Payday loans and flex lines of credit options? Check. Quick in-store services like money orders and wire transfers? Check. Turn your unused gift cards into cash? Oh yeah, check. And yes, we cash checks. All kinds. Fast. Check that off your list. Visit checkintocash.com or check into a store to get started. The process is simple, quick, and designed to get you the help you need fast. If you've been approved, you can leave with cash in hand. We have locations in the Chattanooga area, including Cleveland and Athens. Check in, cash out, and get on with life. Check Into Cash. We fund today to make a better tomorrow. Subject to state regulations, eligibility, credit check, underwriting, and approval. Rates, restrictions, and fees apply. Visit a store for details.
Looking to take the next step? Cleveland State Community College is here to help you define your tomorrow. We've been voted the #1 college choice in your county, and it's easy to see why. Flexible classes that fit your schedule. Learn on campus, online, or both. It's your choice. Cleveland State gives you the freedom to learn when, where, and how you want. Apply now. Spring semester is just around the corner. To find out more, visit registration.clevelandstate.cc or call 423-473-2321. Define your tomorrow at Cleveland State.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Mix 104.1, Cleveland's Oldies 99.1, also ESPN Cleveland 101.3. It has been a day of back and forth announcements, but I can now report that the District 5 4A boys basketball semifinals are postponed officially. It's been a long day, folks, of differing announcements, and quite frankly, never seen anything like it. However, we are able to tell you that the games are postponed for tonight. We are anticipating hearing more from the athletic officials in the district by tomorrow, but this is what we're going on right now. And this is actually the final word for tonight is the games are postponed at Walker Valley. So originally was going to be at Ottawa. Then they were moved to Walker Valley. The games, the boys semis tonight, Cleveland Bradley, and then Walker Valley East Hamilton. And then those games were then postponed. So that's where we are. No games for tonight. And as I was just told, more information to come. So stay with us. You can also go to our website and our social media for more. I'm Steve Hartline reporting.
So tell me all about it. What am I missing? Tell me why I should be a big fan.
Because didn't we win a game? Didn't we make it to the playoff championship game this year with Miami? And like I said, I'm from Louisville. I'm a Louisville fan. And we beat Miami. So we don't get no credit, though, when it comes to everything else in football.
So Chuck, you don't think I like you? Like your conference? Is that it?
No, I don't. You never give us credit for anything.
Well, I'll tell you what. You keep watching, you keep listening, and one of these days I may surprise you, but it won't be today. Expired is up next. Good afternoon, Expired.
Paul, you ready for some who's hot, who's not?
Let's go.
Brian escaping his mother's basement to call the show is hot. Another one of his pathetic calls was not. Paul paying for a bachelor party trip to Vegas, with me included, is hot. Having to pick up Old School off the floor after 4 Palomas is not. I-Man's calls are hot. Overthinking is not. Sending Bash some toothpicks to pry his eyes open while he talks is hot. Bash wearing his military fatigues on Zoom is not. And the last one, Stimp calling in and singing Fine Ball Friday would be hot. Cedric Golden and Brian from Tulsa are not. Paul, you have a wonderful weekend, and giggle.
Woo, I like it. Tim is up next in Arkansas. Hey, Tim, go right ahead.
Hey, Paul. I was just wanting to talk briefly about this that quarterback from Tennessee that's been playing for so many years, and I understand that he's got, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's got a child and he's expecting another child, and he doesn't have any insurance or something, and he made $1 million last year. Is that pretty much what I'm to understand?
Yeah, let me make sure I understand what we're talking about. Two different things. So, two stories have come out of Knoxville today. One involving Aguilar, who will not be eligible to play next year based on a court rule. And the other one was Wes Rucker, who was the journalist up there, UT graduate, who was killed last night. And he does have a 4-year-old and has a baby girl on the way in May. And he just changed jobs. He does not have life insurance, and a GoFundMe page has been started. And quite frankly, a lot of people have donated. So I hope that clears that up.
Well, I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. And I'm embarrassed by my mistake. And,
no, it's okay. Quite all right.
Excuse me. And maybe I can contribute to that. But thank you, Paul.
Thank you for calling. You take care of yourself, and thanks for asking that. Nick is up next in Florida. Hey, Nick, you're on the air.
Hey, Paul. I wanted to talk about Alabama basketball, but I had a question for you first. When you look at your computer screen and it says, like, the caller's name, does it also say, like, what they want to talk about, or does this just pop up, or do you pick this? I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, we try to get a little bit of information, your name, where you're calling from, and a topic. Sometimes the topic is not exactly what it ends up being. The main reason for that is just to have some continuity. Let's say we're talking about the Aguilar case. We have a caller that wants to talk about that, and a caller who wants to ask me if I remember Gone with the Wind. We're probably going to go to the caller from Aguilar.
But you can just kind of scroll through and select, right? Or is it automatically pop up for you?
No, I'm using a device. I used to actually have the phone in front of me. I don't anymore, and we're still trying to work out that. But I have a basic facsimile of a screen that tells me who's on hold and their topic.
Okay, I was just curious. I mean, I feel like sometimes I'm the only one that talks about sports on here, and I understand it's not exactly Jim Rome where it's all sports, but it seems to be just so much of the rehash of these other calls and these other people, and I know that's part of the show. I would hope that sometimes we can get to, some amazing basketball that's going on right now. I mean, that Alabama-Arkansas game was probably one of the best games I've seen in the last 5 years. It was a great win for Alabama that they really needed it, and although Arkansas was a little, thin from a roster standpoint, a win's a win. But my question for you is this. Even if Alabama doesn't make a super deep run in the tournament, even though I think this team is very capable of, is Nate Oates the big dog on campus now? Is he the top coach at Alabama right now? Am I the only one that feels that way? I feel like if I were walking in a Walmart and I saw Kalen DeBoer I literally might go the other direction. But Nate Oates, I would say, oh my God, Nate Oates. I'm a huge Alabama fan. I went there, all that stuff. You know that. But Nate Oates, to me, it's like this guy. He's doing it. He's building a team. He's getting, wins. He's letting these guys ball out. He's getting talent. They seem like they're having fun. Like, that gets me excited. But, and I question, of course we know Alabama was built on football, but, like, outside of DeBoer making it through this year, is Nate Oates the shining star there, Paul?
Yeah, and Nick, this has happened very rarely in Alabama history, but it did happen about 35 years ago when Alabama had gone through just a series of terrible coaches. And the biggest coach on the campus was Wimp Sanderson, who had taken Alabama to just an amazing number of NCAA tournaments. And he ended up being fired, and he later claimed that he had gotten too big. But that is not going to be the case for Nate Oates. Nate Oates is... He had a little... Well, yeah, I cleaned it up for the audience. But okay. Because I am directly involved in the story that ended his career, it's been litigated so many times, and the last time I saw him, I had to litigate it. He had to litigate it again. So I'm trying to avoid ever having another conversation about that. So I shouldn't have even brought his name up. However, if I'm walking into a Walmart right now and I see Nate Oates on aisle 3 and Kalen DeBoer on aisle 7, I agree with you. I'm probably going over to talk to Nate Oates.
I might be going clean up spill on aisle 7.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say a bunch of things that are predictable here because you've already heard them. Kalen DeBoer is a good coach, and he's a perfectly nice guy, but he's not exactly ever going to win a charm contest.
I want to get back to the basketball, but just because the SEC's playing really well, I think there's several teams that can make a deep run in the tournament. I think Alabama is capable of beating anybody if they can shoot, 60% from the floor. Now, that's a big if when you're trying to string 4 or 5 games in a row, but I'm just really excited about basketball, and it seems like no one else is, so I just felt like
Nick, I think here's why. I think Alabama has really good basketball fans. You know that. I think the Bediako case was a bit of a shock to the system. They were struggling. But this last 4 or 5 games, Alabama has been on a heater, and I agree. I think after Florida, they are in contention now for playing the best basketball. I mean, Arkansas doesn't. I mean, they're dangerous, but I just I worry about them in an NCAA tournament game when the officials are foul happy.
I mean, Florida is clearly a very dangerous team. Tennessee's got a good team. Arkansas, Bama. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but Georgia, I guess, is playing well. Missouri is capable. I want to hear some excitement about basketball, as exciting as I am.
Well, Nick, you will, and I'm not making excuses. Last year at this time, we were overwhelmed because the SEC was having, the single greatest basketball season of all time. This year, it's been a little all over the map. Although there's still 10, 11 teams in contention. Although Auburn is clearly moving off that cut line. Thanks for the call. Quick break. We have 30 minutes remaining. It's been a very busy show. We've talked about 2 major stories. One an absolute tragedy coming from Knoxville, the death of Wes Rucker, the young journalist there who was fatally injured last night, fatally killed in an automobile accident. We've talked a lot about him. We talked to Adam Sparks about him. And also the Aguilar case, which shocked a lot of people, although the shock has worn off now that Tennessee fans have acknowledged that they have seen the last of the quarterback. We'll continue, 30 minutes remaining. Your phone calls are straight around the corner.
time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Your new home for 24-hour sports coverage. ESPN Cleveland 101.3. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
Whether it's drizzle or downpour, we help protect your financial future. Reach out to Alon Planning Partners today.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
For a limited time, get Hardees Big Cheeseburger with 100% American Angus beef for just $4.99. That's a deal no one can beat. Actually, we can beat it. Because you can also get Hardees Hand-Breaded Chicken Sandwich for $4.99. The Pick a Sandwich deal. Only $4.99. Only for a limited time. Only at Hardees. Participating restaurants only. Tax not included.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
Langley Roofing is our skilled winning home team. From getting your emergency repair prioritized to a replacement you'll be proud of. Real craftsmanship, on time, in budget. Langley is a local family protecting our homes from the top down. Langley means safety, security, and savings. For roofing, gutters, and skylights. You'll see Langley's promises come to life on your home. And yeah, it's true. When you see a good roof, chances are it's a Langley.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Have you seen what happens when a weed eater gets too close to vinyl siding? Ouch! Choose steel siding from Best Buy Metals, available in board and batten and lap siding options. Permanent siding from Best Buy Metals is custom manufactured to the half-inch for a perfect fit. Stop by a showroom or go to bestbuymetalroof.com to learn how you can protect your structure.
Assured Alarms here in Cleveland is locally owned and operated by Terry Buckner and Wesley Birchfield. They've been in business since 2004 and can design a new security, fire, and camera system specific to your needs. They're not a chain, they're not a franchise. They're your local alarm company. Call Assured Alarms today at 423-478-5222. That's Assured Alarms here in Cleveland, protecting you and your loved ones with Assured Alarms.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 has scored its very own app.
He shoots and scores.
With the ESPN app, you can listen live from anywhere. You'll get the links for the very latest sports news and information. Somebody made a huge trade? You'll know about it. Access to the latest scores and standings? You'll have it. Go to ESPNCleveland1013.com and download the brand new ESPN Cleveland 1013 app today at ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Mix 104.1, Cleveland's Oldies 99.1, also ESPN Cleveland 101.3. It has been a day of back and forth announcements, but I can now report that the District 5 4A boys basketball semifinals are postponed officially. It's been a long day, folks, of differing announcements, and quite frankly, never seen anything like it. However, we are able to tell you that the games are postponed for tonight. We are anticipating hearing more from the athletic officials in the district by tomorrow, but this is what we're going on right now, and this is actually the final word for tonight is the games are postponed at Walker Valley. So originally was going to be at Ottawa. Then they were moved to Walker Valley. The games, the boys' semis tonight, Cleveland Bradley, and then Walker Valley East Hamilton. And then those games were then postponed. So that's where we are. No games for tonight. And as I was just told, more information to come. So stay with us. You can also go to our website and our social media for more. I'm Steve Hartline reporting.
There's one thing that I can advise to you, homie, Prody, brother, big dog, fat cat. You don't call national TV on your first date. And of all people, you don't let Paul Feinbaum ask the questions. Because that's an automatic. I mean, you don't have to go home in a wheelchair now after all that. I mean, you just rolled that right under the bus. High hopes brings bad slopes. And sometimes when you get on them bad slopes, you wind up snowballing down the hill, and you in an avalanche then. So work on that for a minute. And I'm going to tell you this, though, Paul. One thing he did do, one thing I do got to commend him. He gave me and Dylan our invitation. We got our invitation to the bachelor party. And he said, I said, what is our job title? He said, well, y'all going to work valet. I said, okay. So we're going to I said, man, Dylan, we ain't even got no driver's license, bro. He's like, oh, you ain't got to worry about no driver's license. Can y'all push a wheelchair? I said, yeah. He said, well, everybody at that party's going to be in a wheelchair. I mean, come on, cuz. I said, okay, well, we can handle that. I said, but did you invite Jim? He says, well, yeah, I invited Jim, but we're working on something right now. I said, what's the problem? He said, they got them square wheels on that wheelchair. That's why he can't get out of that mental institution. I said, well, I got Dylan working right now under the scenes right now. He's over there. He's on his way to Tuscaloosa with some round wheels, and he's going to get Jim out of there, so Jim's going to be able to be there. So everything's going to be good. But I'm going to tell you something. Learn. So, hey, one more thing, Paul. Joe over there talking about the only two people got a Don Johnson jacket. No. Expired's been a longtime veteran of a Don Johnson jacket holder. So, and we keep it few, but we keep it great. Y'all might as well figure it out. War Down Eagle.
Harry is up next in New Orleans. Hello, Harry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Paul. Excuse the throat. I think I'm coming down with a little bug, but I just want three quick things, Paul. Number one, I want to wish Randy well in all his future endeavors and his retirement. Number two, my prayers and condolences go out to the journalist and his family. It's a terrible thing. And number three, Paul, I want to thank you for another great week, for all the people you touch and all the people I know firsthand, because I see it every day, the people that you keep going and help out, get through a day of hard crosses to bear. God bless you, your staff, and have a great weekend, Paul.
Thank you very much, Harry. We deeply appreciate your call. Adrian is up next.
Hey,
I'm just kind of getting late to the party, but I did have a comment or question on the Aguilar case, which is it reasonable to think that perhaps because now you are, funnily enough, 2 for 2 at the NCAA, kind of probably doing the right thing? Are we entering an era where we are going to start thinking we can put some guardrails in place to where maybe, football by litigation for rulemaking is going to stop being the path of least resistance, and maybe we're going to kind of try to learn from the mistakes we made before with NIL and transfer portal going unhinged?
Well, I mean, I think it's impossible to answer that in that, Bediako was a bad case. That's why the judge went that direction. Chambliss really was the right decision. He had been royally screwed. This was also a bad case. These attorneys just simply went judge shopping. They were part of the Pavia case. They backed out of it. And they did not really have an argument. They came up with a bogus argument that Joey Aguilar was going to lose millions of dollars for the University of Tennessee, and the judge, who is a UT graduate, probably laughed out loud, knowing I know the history of this school better than you do, and that's what happened.
Okay. I mean, because I have, look, the team that ended up winning the national championship won it because they had 29-year-old players, and, the JUCO route becoming what it has as a portal for the AA, for high school students to go that route rather than going straight to D1. But if this had been won for the right reasons, it does start to kind of change the calculus on how people plan, how they're going to try to manage their careers in D1 college football. And so I guess to your point, is another case going to come through and we see if they rule the same way before people rule out thinking they can get, multiple years of eligibility, and even if they're not even taking classes anymore. So.
Well, Adrian, it doesn't cost much anymore to file a plaintiff's case. He got a cheap TRO, which he probably shouldn't have gotten, and ultimately, I don't think Joey Aguilar really probably cares that much. He was going to make $3 million at Tennessee or $4 million, and now he's going to the NFL, and it probably won't do as well. But he will be gone. Thanks for the call. Stemp is up next in Texas.
Hey, Paul, thanks for taking my call. And I just wanted to call in first because as far as Notre Dame, it's real simple. They hate us because they ain't us. They hate us because our football program stands alone as an independent powerhouse, with one caveat being we have to play 5 ACC opponents a season. They hate us because our men's hockey team competes in the Big Ten. You hate these conferences that they let us do as we please, because they're just setting the table, waiting and hoping for that day we choose to be a full-time member. Our brand's nationwide. Newt Rockne built our brand, gained our notoriety. He took us coast to coast. No university has the historical figures or moments in time like the Irish do. You say Alabama, well, Alabama's...
Hey, Steph, hold on a second. First of all, you're just completely you're full of crap, because Alabama has won 7 national championships since Notre Dame last won one. So don't tell me
I'm not
that
talking
nobody.
About national titles, Paul. I'm talking about.
I'm also telling you, your brand is not that great. Okay.
Well, Alabama's brand is built off bandwagon jumpers, Sixto-Dent, and people who've never crossed the Tuscaloosa County line. But one positive thing about today is that it's still a fine bone Friday. I said it's a fine bone Friday, and you'll be feeling fine all Friday after watching Fine Bone Friday. Have a good weekend, Paulie boy. Everything in there.
We will be back. Final few minutes of our program and your phone calls right after this.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-568-2790. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-568-2790. That's 800-568-2790. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-568-2790.
Your new home for 24-hour sports coverage. ESPN Cleveland, 101.3.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
Wisdom for your wealth, rain or shine. Reach out to Alon Planning Partners today.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
This is John Davis at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway. I'm no relationship expert, but I am passionate about low prices and even lower payments. In fact, my goal is to get you in the hottest car at the steamiest deal in the car business. Is your credit on thin ice? That's okay. Our lenders will say yes to you and yes to your situation, even if your credit is less than perfect. Plus, we'll indulge you with all the money for any trade in any condition. In fact, we will give you thousands of dollars over Kelley Blue Book market value for that old car you don't even like, even if it's from the Ice Age, towards the purchase of a new Kia that you'll absolutely love. You're going to love your car buying experience. I guarantee it. Come see me, John Davis, at Kia of Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where buying, selling, or trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Looking for the dealer who's going to give you more. Kia of Cleveland Superstore.
Negative trade equity financing, new loan subject to lender approval. Expires month in.
KiaofCleveland.com.
Take ESPN Cleveland 101.3 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics.
Honda of Cleveland is giving away a brand new 2027 Honda Civic to a deserving coach this year. From Pee Wee League to the college level, all athletic coaches are eligible. Each month, we will choose a coach for that month, and at the end of the year, the 12 finalists will gather to be celebrated and see who wins that brand new 2027 Honda Civic from Honda of Cleveland. Nominate your favorite coach at mymix1041.com.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Mix 104.1, Cleveland's Oldies 99.1, also ESPN Cleveland 101.3. It has been a day of back and forth announcements, but I can now report that the District 5 4A boys basketball semifinals are postponed officially. It's been a long day, folks, of differing announcements, and quite frankly, never seen anything like it. However, we are able to tell you that the games are postponed for tonight. We are anticipating hearing more from the athletic officials in the district by tomorrow. But this is what we're going on right now. And this is actually the final word for tonight is the games are postponed at Walker Valley. So originally was going to be at Ottawa. Then they were moved to Walker Valley. The games, the boys semis tonight, Cleveland Bradley, and then Walker Valley East Hamilton. And then those games were then postponed. So that's where we are. No games for tonight. And as I was just told, more information to come. So stay with us. You can also go to our website and our social media for more. I'm Steve Hartline reporting.
And how about this, Lily Smith from UGA? The Dogs are hosting highly regarded Florida. This should be a great meet. Starts in just a few minutes. Barry is up next. Hey, Barry, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Paul. How are you doing?
We are doing great. Thank you for checking in.
Yes, sir. I got a long memory back in the mid-'70s when Jim Lampley was a sideline reporter for ABC. And Alabama, I believe, was getting beat at halftime. And Jim Lampley was kind of trying to get up with Coach Bryant as he was walking off the field and was calling after him saying, "Bear, bear."
Oh, yeah.
And Coach Bryant turned around and pointed his finger at his face and that's Coach Bryant to you, son. And, turned around and walked off. I mean, I remember that, but I just remember, but did that really happen? Do you remember that?
I believe it did. And I did get a chance to meet him a couple of times, not Coach Bryant, but Jim Lampley. He was very young. He started, the first game he ever did was at Neyland Stadium for an Alabama game, and I'm pretty sure he did that. Coach Bryant had one other run-in with I think it was a female sideline reporter too. He did not like that, have to stop and talk to the reporter. He had business to get to, and that was to go to the locker room.
Yes, he did. But I always wanted to call you about that. And but, just a fond memory from the mid-'70s. And it's a pleasure to talk to you, Paul.
Hey, thank you very much, Barry. Really great to hear from you. I do remember that. I was not here yet. But Coach Bryant, and I'll say this. I had the opportunity when I got to Birmingham in the early 80s to call him every week. I've said this before, but we had like a question and answer period, and he was amazing. I'm not saying he would give the most elaborate answers, but they told me what time to call every Monday, and he was always there. And I think maybe one time in 2 or 3 years, and finally Billy Varner, his assistant, said, I'll go get him, and he brought him in, and he was polite. And he was really a charming guy. I mean, I know he had that gruff reputation, but there was a lot more to him. Brandon, the Nick Saban of pressure washers, has arrived.
Paul Feinbaum, thank you for taking my call, brother. I like that New Orleans jazz music you got going on hold, Paul. I do like listening to the calls a little bit better.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I really don't know what's behind that, but since we don't get to hear that jazz, you like jazz music?
I don't listen to it too much, Paul.
Me either, but I may start listening during the break.
You got to. Hey, I like the call where the guy was talking about meeting Nate Oates and Kellen DeBoer in Walmart on aisle 3 and 7, whatever you said. But I'm like you, Paul. I'm going Nate Oates every day now. At one point my name was tied in with Kellen DeBoer with the pressure washing, but never again. But I'm going to tell you who I blame for that, Paul. You got to take full responsibility for that name, because Kellen DeBoer did give us false hope, but you also tied me in with Kellen DeBoer with the pressure washing.
Hey, Brandon, I've been meaning to say this to you since Labor Day. I remember sitting in New York. We were doing the show up there that day, and I was right after the Florida State game, and Legend had called, and you called and just were taking DeBoer apart, and I finally just interrupted you and said, you're being too hard. And you know what? You weren't being hard enough, Brandon.
I agree with you, Paul. Hey, a nice guy. I've met him multiple times, but as far as a coach at Alabama, absolutely not. No more ties with Kellen DeBoer from here on out, Paul. And I heard Eddie's call earlier. He's trying his best to get his name out there, Paul, by tying his name to some of the callers. And, you're trying too hard, dude. Way too hard. Just make a call, brother. Make a good call, and you will get there. It takes time. Paul, I hope you have a great.
Hey, Brandon, one more thing. I looked it up. You asked me about the golf tournament. I believe it's a little bit earlier this year. I think it's the last Wednesday in April.
Last Wednesday in April, Paul. Well, if the good Lord's willing, brother, I will be there to see Paul Feinbaum. Thank you for taking my call, Paul, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you. Always great to talk to you. Paul is up next in Georgia. Hey, Paul, go right ahead. Paul, you there?
Yeah.
I don't hear. Okay, go right ahead. You're on the air. Okay, we'll move on. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Listen, unfortunately, he was listening to the radio or the TV and not to us. Al is up next in Birmingham. Hey, Al.
Paul, thanks for taking my call. It's been a long time.
How have you been, Al? Where have you been?
Well, I guess it's hard to get in now with callers talking about other callers. So, but I do enjoy the show still.
Thank
Paul,
you.
As successful as Wimp was, he never took Alabama basketball to a national brand, and Nate Oates has done that. I mean, we have a starting lineup that includes players from Detroit, Green Bay, and Connecticut, and Wimp never had that. I mean, he made a great team out of local players, but never really got it to that national level that Nate Oates has done. And I think that's the part that separates. That's what separates Nate from Wimp. Paul, exciting news this week on East Street with the announcement of the spring tour.
Where I haven't had a chance to read that. How close are they coming to Alabama?
Well, they'll be in Atlanta. So my plans include Atlanta. Well, my plans include Austin, Atlanta, Cleveland, and Boston. So with those 4 shows, that'll put me at 25 total.
So okay, Al, I got to ask you this. It's been a long time. You've seen Springsteen 20 times?
21 times, yeah.
21 times. How far away from Birmingham have you seen him?
Shea Stadium in New York.
Okay.
Kansas City, National Park in Washington D.C.
Okay.
So I have traveled, and I continue to travel. So, Paul, but it's a great show. Now, admittedly, I have to separate the art from the artist, and I've done that a long time ago. But Paul, as always, big wheels roll through fields where sunlight stream. Meet me in a land of hope and dream. Paul, have a good evening.
Great song. Thank you for that. Speaking of lyrics, I don't know how Swamp Dogg is on Bruce Springsteen, but we'll give him a shot. Hey, Swamp Dogg. Oh. Anyway, I tell you what. Before we go, I want to make sure. I want to just go over a couple of the items before we close down today, because there have been 2 significant stories that we have covered. One of them is the death of Wes Rucker, the 43-year-old journalist who went to UT, worked at the school newspaper, has been covering UT since then, and doing it brilliantly. He died last night, leaving a wife, a 4-year-old son, and a baby girl expected to be here in May, and the other one also coming from Knoxville. The judge, the Chancery Judge Haggerty, denying Joey Aguilar another year of eligibility, and thus ending Aguilar's career at Tennessee. We'll leave it there.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Your new home for 24-hour sports coverage. ESPN Cleveland 1013. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
Clear skies or cloudy markets, Alon Planning Partners helps keep your future on track.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 1013.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Cleveland Tire Center having a huge sale on Goodyear tires. Buy 3 Goodyears, get 1 free. Don't forget the Cleveland Tire Center service department for alignments, oil changes, and more. Cleveland Tire Center, 4699 North Lee Highway, where the name says it all. Goodyear, more driven.
Take ESPN Cleveland 101.3 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Mix 104.1, Cleveland's Oldies 99.1, also ESPN Cleveland 101.3. It has been a day of back and forth announcements, but I can now report that the District 5 4A boys basketball semifinals are postponed officially. It's been a long day, folks, of differing announcements, and quite frankly, never seen anything like it. However, we are able to tell you that the games are postponed for tonight. We are anticipating hearing more from the athletic officials in the district by tomorrow, but this is what we're going on right now, and this is actually the final word for tonight is the games are postponed at Walker Valley. So originally was going to be at Ottawa. Then they were moved to Walker Valley. The games, the boys' semis tonight, Cleveland Bradley, and then Walker Valley East Hamilton. And then those games were then postponed. So that's where we are. No games for tonight. And as I was just told, more information to come. So stay with us. You can also go to our website and our social media for more. I'm Steve Hartline reporting.
Now let me add some buzz, some juice to the sport to whenever that final year is by, this is LeBron's final game here, and the tickets are going to go up. And it's not the worst thing in the world for LeBron with a tiny bit of payback here. Like, give Silver this opportunity.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Sports Center.
I'm Ed Menken. Another busy Friday of NBA basketball is about to get underway. Coming up at the bottom of the hour on ESPN, it's the first of 2 games on this Friday night. It'll be the Timberwolves playing host to the Mavericks. Then at 10 Eastern, it's the Battle of L.A. between the Clippers and Lakers. LeBron James is questionable for this game. He is dealing with a left knee problem. At the Olympics in men's hockey, the U.S. will play for the gold medal on Sunday. The Americans rolled past Slovakia 6-2 in the semifinals. They had a 5-0 lead in this game at one point. 2 goals of the win for Jack Hughes to lead the way. That sets up a battle for the gold medal against Canada for Matthew Tkachuk and his teammates on Sunday morning.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to represent the United States and for us to be in the gold medal game with a chance to do something that very few Americans have been able to do. It's just, it's hard for me to wrap my head around right now. I don't even know if I want to think that far ahead yet.
U.S. and Canada played in the gold medal final in 2010, won by the Canadians in overtime with a golden goal from Sidney Crosby. His status still up in the air after he missed today's semifinal win over Finland with a lower body injury. Men's college basketball tonight. 3 ranked teams on the schedule, including on ESPN2, number 18 St. Louis. The Billikens at home against VCU. Number 7 Purdue hosts Indiana. And also tonight, number 22 Miami of Ohio hosts Bowling Green. The Redhawks looking to go to 27-0 on the season. In football, the Cowboys have waived linebacker Logan Wilson. In baseball, Twins pitcher Pablo Lopez will miss the 2026 season. He is scheduled to have Tommy John surgery for the second time in his career.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, huge NBA weekend. College basketball plus baseball is back, and we'll react to it all during Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This is Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio.
I'm 40 years old. I can't deal with this. So is being chased by wild turkeys a big deal or not a big deal? Hammer.
No one has ever been pecked to death by a wild turkey. Take the turkeys on, punt the turkeys if you have to. This is not a big deal whatsoever.
I've been chased by bulls, cattle growing up on a thoroughbred horse farm. You name it. I mean, I have been chased. When that goose came after me, trust me, man, when it's hissing at you, a mama goose, hell no. My wife was chased by a cow moose. My mom still had a place in Wyoming. Cow moose with a calf? Hell no. That's one mama you don't want to come across.
Now, here's Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio. Fireball.
Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80, presented by Progressive Insurance. Give us a call at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Ian Fitzsimmons is allowing me to be graced with his presence tonight on the Ian and Amber Experience, the Amber and Ian Experience, with me, Tenitra Batiste. I'm so glad to be here, man.
Tenitra, I'm not gracing you. I'm not allowing. It ain't my call, but it's fine. I've listened to you a lot. This is our first time working together, so yes. I'm pumped. And just warning you, there's going to come times in the next 3 hours where you're going to go, what in the hell happened to the rundown? Because every night it gets thrown out the window. So what you see in our pre-show meeting and what we talked about in pre-show, I'm just forearmed, as Bill Polian famously told me once. Just get ready, because there's going to come a point where everything just gets thrown out the window and we get on a Girl Scout cookie tangent, or boneless wings are not a wing. It's not a chicken wing, as we had a lawsuit with a federal damn judge in Chicago. That took up half an hour of the show on Wednesday. So just warning you, it's going to go off the rails at some point in the next 2 hours and 56 minutes.
I mean, we did come in with wild turkeys, so that kind of gives you an idea of what's to come.
Yeah. Well, we're both from Louisiana, so, I mean, we know crazy maybe better than anybody else, right? So I don't know how much crazier it can get than what we've seen in Louisiana, or what's crazier for me coming from where you are now, because you are in Dallas, and I was running for my life coming from Dallas, coming back to Atlanta tonight, man.
All right, so I hate to fly, and I fly every weekend during football season. So yeah. I manage DFW. I'm assuming you flew out of DFW to go back to Hartsfield. I hate the airport in Atlanta. It is one of the worst airports in America to navigate unless you know it and you live in Atlanta. DFW is one of the worst airports in America to navigate unless you know it. I live here. So how bad was it? Because everyone can relate to travel woes, and I'm amazed that you got here on time for the show. Hell, you made 45 minutes of the pregame, the pre-show meeting. I don't know how you did it. God bless you. How did you do it?
It was crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy, getting into Dallas, getting out of Dallas. And I made a pit stop in Houston, but that's a story for maybe later on in the show. But it was just one of those things where I'm like, where is the sanity here? Like you said, I understand. Everybody understands they have their own, like, version of crazy. So I understand Hartsfield-Jackson crazy, right? I do not understand DFW crazy. So it was very harrowing, like, just getting into it. And then my cousin was picking me up, and she's like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, I'm right here at the door, like DD15. Where are you? Absolute mess, as opposed to our beloved Hartsfield-Jackson. It is my mess. It is my craziness. But I understand it. I understand it, Ian. It makes sense to me.
Well, you made it. God bless you. As did Team USA, right? Our men going for gold. And I said this to start the week, and I'll say it again. I wanted Canada in both games. I wanted Canada with our women, and we took care of them. It was nerve-wracking. It took years off my life. If I'm supposed to be 80, I'm down to 77 because of the gold medal game yesterday.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you at 7:10 Central, 8:10 Eastern, hell, my daughter who goes to Oregon, I already talked to her today going, Dad, the damn gold medal game is at 5:10 a.m. Pacific time.
Yes.
But she will be up with friends, with probably a Bloody Mary, knowing college kids, right? Or a mimosa, getting ready for our men to take on Canada. I didn't care who we had to play to win gold.
Nope.
But I wanted the Iron Bowl. I wanted Ohio State, Michigan. I wanted Oregon, Washington, just to keep it college rivalries, right?
Yeah.
I wanted Canada. We got them. Yep. Our women already took care of business. Boys, let's go, man. Let's get it. Let's go.
It's time. And you're right. That game, oh, my God, going into overtime, that hockey game was just absolutely like a nail biter. But, again, the women took care of their business, and so we all sat back, right, and said, all right, men, your turn. And they didn't disappoint. Of course, the first game today, in order to set that up, was Canada. Survived another scare. They rallied to beat Finland 3-2, so that's how they get to the gold medal game. But I felt like the U.S., their win was much more emphatic, right? Because you look at a 6-2 win, and it's just – and getting a couple goals, Jack Hughes scored. Team just absolutely rolled. I know that Canada's top-seeded, understand that they're the favorite, but I got to tell you, this one, waiting a year since the North American rivals, remember, played those memorable games with the Four Nations face-off, and it was just so exciting. It's just, I think it's going to be really great. Even if you're not a hockey fan, I think this kind of drama kind of pulls everybody in when it's USA-Canada. USA already has the gold medal on the women's side. Now it's time to get it done on the men's side. Early Sunday morning.
The Kachuk brothers have become some American icons, and they are American badasses. But you mentioned the Hughes brothers, and you look at Werenski, the way he played today, wearing that 8 sweater. And my favorite thing was when, during the broadcast, they panned to Johnny Gaudreau's parents, Johnny Hockey. And they told the story how his teammate with the Blue Jackets and one of his best friends for the late, great Johnny Hockey, wanted, Johnny's parents to be there. He would have been on this team. His siblings were there, and they had his sweater hanging in the locker room. He had a locker. That, to me, that damn near got me to sports tears. It was awesome. So right when I heard that, I was trying to – can I live wager this damn thing? Because our boys ain't losing with Johnny Hockey's sweater hanging in that locker room. There is no way they're going to lose. And not only did they not lose, they chicken kicked the hell out of Slovakia 6-2. So it was – and our entire women's team was in attendance. Micah Ruzioni and some of the guys from 1980 were there. NFL stars like Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, you name it. It was a star-studded affair yesterday for our ladies, today for our men, and I cannot wait for 8:10 a.m. Eastern to get my freak on and watch our men go for gold against Canada. I cannot wait.
Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80. Ian Fitzsimmons along with Tanisha Batiste here with you today. And listen, I felt like what we saw with the women last night, so exciting. Obviously, what we saw with the men today, exciting as well. But overall, this has been a pretty cool Olympics, a pretty exciting Olympics. And I can't believe it's over this weekend. I can't believe we're wrapping it up this weekend. I know you got a lot of favorite moments as well. What are some of the highlights for you this past 2 weeks?
Well, Alyssa Liu yesterday also. Coming back from that remarkable, 2.5-year layoff.
2.5 year,
And when she looked at the camera and went, "That's how you bleep and do it." Come on. That was absolutely outstanding. I've always, I like those fringe sports, all the aerial stuff, where you're going up 50, 60 feet in the air, whether it's ski jumping or the snowboarders, whatever it might be. That stuff just freaks me out. You get a bunch of guys on the short track speed skating. One dude screws up, and you're taking.
You're all done.
It's like bowling, and a bunch of pins go down. But the biathletes, men and women, how they go and put their bodies through that torture, and then you're able to control your breathing to shoot a target with a rifle in a prone position twice and standing twice, and control your breathing to hit a target the size of a golf ball. I do not understand how the hell they do it. So it's some of that crazy stuff where I'm going, what made you want to do that.
Right.
How did you, and who created the damn sport to begin with? I mean, those are the things I love, but I'll tell you one thing I am tired of. I look forward to it every year to start the Olympics, and then it wears on me because it's on all the time.
Yeah.
Curling.
Yeah. Oh, that was on my list too.
It is
the drama, the petty of it.
Yeah, but I mean,
this year.
It is. Can we show something else in a replay, NBC, on USA Today? I mean, or on the USA Network besides curling at night? I mean, give us some of the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Every night
really
it feels like it's curling. Right? Every single night, Tanitra, and it drives me nuts now.
It's curling. And the only thing that made it compelling this year was all the drama, the judges coming in, the countries
the finger touch on the stone.
The finger touch. Yeah. Exactly. That's what made it.
The bandana guy for USA. I like that guy.
Yeah, that's what made it extra for me. But my number one, and Alyssa Liu is on my list, by the way, too, because, man, you want to talk about a flawless performance. I actually watched it several times, the replay of it, because it was just incredible. But it's Elena Myers-Taylor, mother of two, 41 years old, and literally has been to multiple Olympics, has had a couple silvers, some bronze medals, but at 41 finally gets her first goal in bobsledding, monosled. She's here from the Atlanta metro area, Douglasville to be exact. So I was just so excited because I feel like locally we've been following her story in those years in between the Olympics, and it was really cool to see her husband there, her son, they were signing, if you will. But yeah, at
awesome.
41,
Mommy won.
Yeah, mommy won. To do it at 41 and to do it on your third and fourth runs, if you will, I just thought that was so clutch. And yeah, Elena Myers-Taylor is probably my favorite Olympic moment. And if you have a favorite Olympic moment, let us know. Call us at 888-729-3776, 888-SAY-ESPN. There's a team and a player in the NBA that needs a lot more love. Ian Fitzsimmons and Tanitra Batiste. It's Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and SiriusXM, Channel 80.
NBA Primetime on ESPN Radio. It's an interleague showdown at the Garden.
Oh, what a big shot!
Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets head to New York City to face Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. Coverage begins tomorrow at 8 Eastern, with tip-off at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Indeed.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790 or biglou.com.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 101.3. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
When financial storms hit, we help you stay steady. Reach out to Alon Planning Partners today.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Take ESPN Cleveland 101.3 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the General Manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
To the basket and lays it in against Towns. He was yelling and one. 118 to 100. 42 for Cade Cunningham.
97.1, the ticket on the call. And Cade Cunningham is weaving and bobbing his way, not just through games, but I think weaving and bobbing his way right to maybe some MVP conversation. It is Amber and Ian on ESPN, Sirius XM Channel 80, and the ESPN app presented by Progressive Insurance. You can give us a call at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. And before we talk a little bit about Cade, Ian and I talked about our favorite Olympic moments so far, because we know we've still got a big hockey matchup showdown between the U.S. and Canada come Sunday. But Jim, in Arizona, what's your favorite Olympic moment?
Well, I think it's the young man, the speed skater Stoltz from Wisconsin. And I've got family from Wisconsin. He comes from a small town, and his father would put in double overtime at night in the sheriff's department just to be able to pay for the young man. And they would drive to whatever center it was up there, 90 miles, because he loved skating. So I think it's a great story.
That is a great story, Jim.
Yeah.
And I saw a piece on Stoltz, I think it was 2 days ago on the USA Network. I mean, it was just awesome. The entire background and what some of these guys, and men and women, have to go through in order to chase that dream of just not just being an Olympian, but just to get it on the medal stand. And not just gold, right? But just to be able to represent your country with those three letters across your chest. I mean, it meant the world to him. And to have a parent that is willing to sacrifice and do everything they can for their kid, that's what makes me try to be the best dad I possibly can. You know, you need it, I'll try and give it to you if it's worthy, you know. And that was beyond worthy. And that goes to show you proper parenting can go a long way. But it's like what Frank Martin said, the former South Carolina basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, kids haven't gotten soft, parents have gotten soft.
Agreed.
And that dad was, you want to chase this, and you're going to have to work for it.
You got to work for it.
You got to go earn it. And if I'm going to do this, you got to put the grind in. And he did, and that's the reward of when hard work pays off. It doesn't get any better. Tough love can at times be the best love any aspiring athlete, you know, prodigy, any child. I mean, I don't care what you want to do. That what Jim from Arizona just mentioned right there, that goes a long way, and that is proper parenting and a grind that paid off.
Oh, I agree. Third medal, getting a silver. And I think you make a great point, too, about the fact that if you're on that podium, whether it's gold, silver, or bronze, and you've been waiting 4 years, preparing for it your entire life, kudos to you, regardless of where you stand. And this was kind of like an honorable mention, and then we'll move on, but Ilya Malinin, the quad god, right? For him to be able to withstand the pressure of dropping off the podium and coming back and giving a magnificent performance. Like, I think there's something to be said about that as well, because, of course, a lot of credit to his parents for helping him to reset, to do something special. So, yeah, I can't imagine the kind of pressure that these guys are under. So whether you deliver in a team event or whether you deliver individually, it's just absolutely awesome. But you know who else is delivering these days? Cade Cunningham. 42 points, 13 dimes, becoming just the third visiting player with 40 points and 10 assists in a game at Madison Square Garden. Of course, we're talking about a nice little blowout the Detroit Pistons over the New York Knicks. Only other guys to do it, LeBron James, 08-09, AI 05. So when you look at Cade Cunningham and what he's been able to do in terms of just the consistency, because they've now beaten them, 3 times this season? And just exactly. And you look at them being steady, and JB Bickerstaff has those guys playing some great basketball. But where Cade Cunningham is right now, leading the Pistons to the title, is actually something that you might conceive. And for me, I'm not sure if they're right there yet to be able to maybe get the title, but I certainly think the Detroit Pistons should be squarely in that conversation thanks to Cunningham.
Tanisha, they're just a couple years removed from setting the all-time record for consecutive losses.
Yeah.
And Dwayne Casey caught a lot of hell, right? But he's the guy that said, we need Cade Cunningham. This is it. Just turn the card in. You know, he is, in Coach Casey's opinion, the best player in the draft. This is where the rebuild starts. So Coach Casey deserves a hell of a lot of credit now in the Pistons front office. And right now, Coach Bickerstaff is reaping the rewards. I mean, Jalen Duren, who didn't even play last night.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they put that ass whipping on the Knicks without 2 of their best players. Yeah. And Cade knew it, and he said, I got this. I got it, and stepped up. And the guys behind, you know, the dudes that were out like Jalen, they stepped up as well. The Pistons are legit. When you have the second best record in the entire league, only 1 game behind OKC, I guess people aren't giving the Pistons a ton of credit because they're the Detroit Pistons. It's been a long time since we've seen success in Detroit, and it's been very recent where we've seen remarkable failure in Detroit. But right now, this squad, they are legit and a true contender in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, and Dwayne Casey, as you mentioned, senior advisor for the Detroit Pistons, joined the show, and he talked about the fact that he sees that greatness and that leadership in Cade Cunningham.
We have a great leader in Cade Cunningham. You know, even though he's our superstar, and it's great, and it makes it great for JB to have a superstar who is also your leader and leads by example. You know, he's a guy that works hard. He's done a great job with his body. And he's a Dallas kid who grew up idolizing Dirk. You know, we've talked a lot about, you know, what Dirk was like, you know, coaching Dirk, and, you know, loved Luka also, and when he was a Maverick. But, again, he's done a great job with his body. He's strong. But he's also a great leader on the court, off the court. He's vocal in the huddles. He's vocal for JB in the locker room. That has helped us a lot by him developing into that type of player, type of person, you know, for our team.
Yeah, and being able to lead this team. He really is. You talk about a winning streak. Like, they've won 4 straight. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games, and quality wins. Ian, we're talking about wins. 2 wins against the Knicks in that stretch, a win against the Raptors, and even the Hornets, who are kind of up and coming in the East. Those are important wins when you start talking about things tightening up and getting that 1 seed in the East. Those are very important wins.
Now, on the other side, is it troubling if you're a Knicks fan?
It should be.
I don't know. I really don't.
I think so.
You know, they were shorthanded also last night.
Yeah.
But it was on their floor. And as we mentioned, the Pistons were shorthanded. But when you go 0-3 against a certain team, that could also just motivate the ever-loving hell out of you when it comes in playoff time. Now, look, they had that epic series last year.
Yeah.
You know, so that also could be on the mental side. So if you're a Knicks fan, I know a lot of people are going, oh, my God, the sky is falling. I'm not one of those guys. It's a regular season game. I know they swept you in the regular season, but keywords, regular season, not playoffs. And that, to me, goes a long way.
It does, but I think what we've seen in the Knicks, the reason it makes me concerned is because I don't know which Knicks team is the real one. Like, will the real New York Knicks please stand up? Is it the Commissioner's Cup New York Knicks? Is it the team that fell off the cliff after? Is it the team that strung along like 8 wins in a row against quality teams? I mean, which Knicks team is it? So, yeah, not the sky is falling, but you should be a little bit concerned about what you're seeing.
You see the East a lot, covering the Atlanta Hawks as you're based in Atlanta. This Knicks team, to your point, though, and that's where I'll halfway contradict myself, they don't seem as tough as they were with Tom Thibodeau. They're not getting back on defense, where if you did that with Tibbs, guess what? Your ass is on the bench.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're as tough right now as they were under Tibbs. That's the one concern.
Yeah, same here. I think that maybe some of the moves that they made in order to get their offense to be able to compete with the likes of the Celtics and the Cavs and even the Pistons, of course, right now, I think maybe there's a little bit too much leaning in to that offensive side, and they've got to return to their defensive identity. We have some huge college hoops games this weekend, and we've got all the advice you need for your sports wager. It's Ian and Amber on ESPN Radio.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and me, Michelle Smallman, we'll react to a huge weekend in the NBA and college basketball, plus get you ready for the NFL Combine. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Access to education changes lives. That's why National University provides flexible online and hybrid programs from associate to doctorate degrees. Since 1971, NU was built to serve non-traditional working and military learners nationwide. NU understands the demands of work, family, and service. Each year, more than 130,000 learners trust National University to move forward. Visit nu.edu to learn more.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 101.3. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
Preparation wins games and builds retirements. Reach out to Alon Planning Partners today.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Take ESPN Cleveland 101.3 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
And then again, we start with the NBA. Several games just underway. Another one set to tip off on ESPN. It will be the Timberwolves playing host to the Mavericks. That'll be followed on ESPN at 10 Eastern by the Battle of L.A. between the Clippers and the Lakers. LeBron James is questionable for the game. He is dealing with a left knee problem. Tomorrow night on ESPN Radio, we will have the Knicks hosting the Rockets from Madison Square Garden. Well, the much anticipated U.S.-Canada men's hockey gold medal final is now set. In today's semifinals, the U.S. blew out Slovakia 6-2. Jack Hughes had 2 goals, and Hughes and Jack Eichel scored 19 seconds apart in the second period. Meanwhile, the Canadians rallied from a 2-0 deficit to defeat Finland 3-2. Nathan McKinnon scored the game winner with 35 seconds left. As far as the matchup coming up, Coach Mike Sullivan of the U.S. says Four Nations final loss to Canada last year doesn't need to serve as extra motivation for his team.
I think this group has plenty of motivation already to want to bring our very best. As Matthew said, it's an incredible honor to represent the United States, and we're all privileged to be here. These guys have earned the right through their performance to play for a gold medal.
That game will face off at 8 a.m. Eastern Sunday morning. Tonight in men's college basketball, big battle in the Atlantic 10 on ESPN2 between VCU and 18th-ranked St. Louis. They're the top two teams in the conference. Right now, VCU in the first half leads the 18th-ranked Billikens 29-19. Coming up in a few moments, it'll be number 7 Purdue hosting Indiana, and number 22 Miami of Ohio will play host to Bowling Green later tonight. The Redhawks are looking to go 27-0 so far in the season and 14-0 in conference play.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, we'll react to a huge weekend in the NBA and college basketball, plus get you ready for the NFL Combine. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Bet till your hands bleed.
No music. Okay. Well, there we go, Javon. Come on now, Sonny. A little late there, buddy. I mean, it felt like it's about as slow as I feel. There we go. All right, here we go. We're 4-1 on the week and bet to your hands bleed. Give me Purdue -11 against Indiana. Phenomenal college basketball rivalry. It's a massive number. Give me the Boilermakers coming off a tough home loss against a phenomenal Michigan Wolverines team, which, by the way, outstanding handicapper, good friend of ours coming up, has a little something on that Michigan-Duke game coming up tomorrow. NBA-wise, this one's for friends and family only, but this number smells. Give me the Pelicans. Yeah, the Pelicans. The bleeping 15-win Pelicans are favored by 4 over the Giannis-less Milwaukee Bucks. Give me the Pels -4. And then in the stinky line of the night, the Trailblazers are favored over Denver on DraftKings. Portland -1. Hammer it over the Nuggets. Bet till your hands bleed.
6 on the shot clock. Taman finds Jefferson. Over to the corner. A 3 by Heisey. Yes! Are you kidding me? Right at the shot clock buzzer. 69-67 Iowa State. A little Hilton magic right there.
And you might see a little bit of that magic this weekend as well. That, of course, courtesy of Learfield, Amber, and Ian on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80, presented by Progressive Insurance. Ian Fitzsimmons, along with Tanitra Batiste, here with you tonight. And ESPN Radio legend, ESPN.com contributor Mark Zeno is joining us tonight. Zeno, how are you tonight? I'm excited to talk to you because I need to know. I need the deets on how you're feeling about these big matchups, starting with number 2 Arizona, number 4 Houston. When we look at these teams, Wildcats 78, 78, 75 in their last 3 games. You know, they've won 1, lost 2. Cougars, low scoring, 66, 64, and 67 in their last 3. They took an L. So the over-under is at 139.5. Tell me why you're saying go with the under.
Well, Tanitra, always great to be with you guys. Look, I mean, when you look at this matchup here, one of the biggest things to note is Arizona's down their freshman Koa Pete, who has been outstanding. He's the second leading scorer on the team. He's a big part of what they do offensively, especially inside. He didn't play last game against BYU, and he's not going to play tomorrow. But this is like a smart move in the big picture by Arizona because they have national title hopes. They're not going to rush the kid back and try to force him into a game that they don't really need. But Houston plays one of the slowest tempos in the country. He's got 354th in adjusted tempo. And they give up the fewest points per game at home at 54.5. So without Pete, the Wildcats' second leading scorer, the Arizona offense is going to take a hit here. Yeah. On the flip side, this is a Houston offense that's facing the top 3-point shooting defense and the top 2-point shooting defense in the Big 12. Cougars, Houston, are also second to last in the nation in average 2-point shot attempt distance, meaning their 2-point shots are second to last distance away from the basket. When you're facing an elite-level defense like Arizona, you're not going to shoot to your numbers here. Houston doesn't shoot the 3 especially well. They're also 358th in free throw rate. They don't get a lot of attempts from the free throw line. It's under all the way here for me, guys.
Check out Zeno's column on ESPN.com right now if you like to wager and get Mama a new pair of shoes. It's outstanding intel and insight on the biggest games coming up on an outstanding college slate tomorrow right here on ESPN Radio and on ESPN and ABC. All right, let's get to the one in Cameron Indoor. Number 1 Michigan, who was we talked about it on Wednesday, Zeno. So damn impressive at Purdue. To what they did to the Boilermakers, and that's a phenomenal Purdue team. At Purdue was beyond impressive. Now they go to Cameron Indoor. It's 1v3, 6:30 Eastern, ESPN, and Michigan is favored at Duke. Tell me why.
Well, just a point of clarification. It's a neutral site game here, Ian. They're actually playing this game in D.C. No, you're fine. You're fine. And to your point, though, I'd have a different look on this game if Michigan was in Cameron Indoor and a 2.5-point favorite. I think this would be closer to a pick'em if this game was at Cameron Indoor. Now, on paper, these teams look very similar, but I think there's a gap between them. The Wolverines don't have an observable flaw, in my opinion. They overwhelm you for 40 minutes on a basketball court, and I think we've seen that repeatedly in and out. And even though Duke is second in defensive efficiency, right behind Michigan, you got to remember, they're playing against a much weaker and less deep ACC than the Big Ten. 11 of the 18 ACC teams are outside the top 60 in adjusted offensive efficiency, with 3 of them outside the top 100. So you add in the fact that Duke's offensive numbers take a hit away from Cameron Indoor. They average 86.7 at Cameron Indoor, 79.2 in road neutral site games. So the Wolverines defense is going to give them all they can handle for 40 minutes. And believe it or not, Michigan may be better away from home this year. Perfect 13-0 in games away from Ann Arbor. Get this. Just 3 of those 13 games have been decided by less than 10 points, with an average margin of victory of 16.3. Duke has taken both of their losses on the road this year. Michigan is a deeper, better, more experienced team. They're better at free throw shooting. The Wolverines better at three-point shooting away from home. Like I said, if this game was at Cameron Indoor, we'd look at it a little bit differently here, but I don't want to step in front of Michigan. Not going to do it. I'm going to lay the 2.5.
Yeah. Mark Zeno, ESPN radio host and ESPN.com contributor, joining us here on Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80. Of course, Ian Fitzsimmons along with Tanitra Batiste. And there's another big game out there. You can catch that at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday on ESPN, and that is number 6 Iowa State taking on number 23 BYU in the nightcap. The Cyclones got the comeback win over the Houston Cougars, of course, in their last game, and now they're on the road to face another Cougars team. We know how letdowns after big wins can be, right, Mark? And home court advantage and how that sometimes goes. But is that the reason, the part of why you're thinking maybe bet BYU at plus 3.5?
Yeah, and oh, by the way, guys, I mean, the college basketball gods have shined down upon us. It's like a college football Saturday where you don't have to get off the couch.
Yeah, where you just,
right? You can just watch, you just watch basketball all day long.
Then Sunday morning, man, over your coffee, right, and bacon and eggs, and you get a gold medal game between USA and Canada. Come on with it, bro. I mean, it's a great weekend.
You may as well just make it an 18-hour bender between basketball and the gold medal Olympic game. But nonetheless,
helps you not to miss football.
Right, huge letdown spot for the Cyclones here. And a comeback win over Houston. So they got to go on the road now and face this BYU team that averages 90 points a game at home. Iowa State has struggled against competent teams on the road in the conference all season long. They're just 3-3 straight up and against the number. Those 3 wins came against bottom feeders in the conference: Oklahoma State, Kansas, and Baylor. All 3 teams outside the top 100 in adjusted defensive efficiency. And the home road splits for Iowa don't bode well either. Their scoring drops from 87 points a game to 79 on the road. Their 3-point and field goal shooting both take a dip. For BYU, the splits favor them in a big way at home. They shoot over 38% from beyond the arc at home, but just 33% on the road. So this is a game here for BYU. Outside of everything else, they need this game badly. And really what has let them down, guys, this season has been their defense. It hasn't been their offense. It's their defense that's really taken a hit. But this is why a player like A.J. Devonsta can make a big case for a Big 12 Player of the Year. You know, this is a game where he puts his team on his back. I love the home dog here in the letdown spot for Iowa State. So we're going to take the 3.5 points and sprinkle a little money on the money line as well.
All about it. Hey, Zeno, did you know that Spam is like one of the top breakfast meals in Hawaii? I just found that out today. Did you have any idea that was a thing?
I only knew that from the movie 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler, where he went to the restaurant and ordered Spam and Reese's. So spam was they get everything in Hawaii. That's the only reference point I have.
So while you're binging, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go, please.
I was going to follow up with you, like while you're binging on those college basketball games into hockey Sunday morning. Okay, spam or no spam, Mark? Spam or no spam?
I'm going to go no spam. It's just not my type of meat. I think that there are better breakfast sides of pork that you can have. Yeah, much better pork options than spam in a can.
We won't get into Girl Scout cookies, which dominated the show last night because of J.J. Watt. So there you go. Hey, Zeno, check it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if we're going to get into Girl Scout cookies, I mean, listen, at the top, are your basic tagalongs and your do-si-dos, right?
You didn't mention Thin Mints.
Well, that's third.
Oh, my gosh. Really? Third?
See? Third?
Are we going to do this again? No, we're not.
We're seeing right, it's going south.
Do you chill your Thin Mints? Is that you a chill Thin Mint guy?
I put them in the freezer, and then I crunch, and then I break them up, and I put them in vanilla ice cream.
No, see, now you're getting sexy. I mean, it's a whole different look at that point in time.
We're going to a whole other level here, Coach. We're going from JV to varsity in a hurry, and I mean a hurry. Right, there you go. All right, Zeno, check him out on ESPN.com if you want more when it comes to wagering. He's an outstanding handicapper, and every now and then he slums with us here on Amber and Ian. Appreciate you, Zeno. Thank you so much as always, partner.
Have a great weekend, guys. Go USA.
Yeah, a whole bunch of college basketball this weekend, and you can tune in tomorrow as St. John's hosts Creighton. Coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. And little college football to talk about. A head coach got paid, got the bag. We'll get into that coming up. It's Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and SiriusXM Channel 80.
College basketball Saturday on ESPN Radio. It's a Big East battle at Madison Square Garden. The Creighton Blue Jays are in New York City to face 17th-ranked St. John's. Coverage begins tomorrow morning at 11:30 Eastern, with tip-off at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 101.3. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
Storms, they come and go, but your financial plan shouldn't. Alon Planning Partners has you covered.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
You're listening to Amber and Ian on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Game night is coming up. The ESPN Cleveland 101.3 lineup is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group, wholesalepsupply.us. Take ESPN Cleveland 101.3 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 has scored its very own app.
He shoots and scores.
With the ESPN app, you can listen live from anywhere. You'll get the links for the very latest sports news and information. Somebody made a huge trade? You'll know about it. Access to the latest scores and standings? You'll have it. Go to ESPNCleveland1013.com and download the brand new ESPN Cleveland 101.3 app today at ESPNCleveland1013.com. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
When you sign up for MLB.tv, you'll receive a 1-month free trial of ESPN Unlimited. Cancel anytime without losing your MLB.tv access. Get in on the action at stream.espn.com/MLBTV.
ESPN Unlimited auto renews at $29.99 per month after free trial unless canceled. Blackouts and other terms apply.
Just hold on. Before we get to Curt Cignetti and his $13.2 million per year contract that goes through 2033, which I believe he's not only worth every penny, but maybe underpaid. She's Tenitra Batiste. I'm Ian Fitzsimmons. This is Amber and Ian here on ESPN Radio. We were just discussing during the break how I can't watch more than one show at a time, and I have to finish an entire season of, I just finished Slow Horses on Apple.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to move on to another show. I had to finish Landman before I picked up in the last season of Landman before I picked up the latest season in Slow Horses. Then you just dropped on me. You don't watch television outside of sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know how many pop culture references you are missing? And how many great moments of just either comic relief or holy hell, that you're missing by not watching and being as just idiotic as the rest of us are?
And it gets better. I don't watch movies either, by the way. So I've got one. So here's how it goes. I have one show, like Abbott Elementary, and I think they're on season 5. Ian, I'm still in season 3. I'm still in season 3.
What was the last movie
baseline.
You watched?
Ooh, that's a good question. It was, Wakanda Forever. Yeah, it was one of those Wakanda Forever. Yeah, Black Panther. Thank you.
You
see how much I don't watch?
Lord.
You see how much I don't watch movies? I had to really think. But yeah, I like action movies, so that's kind of the last one I saw. I'm just
We'll dive into this
but here's
later.
my day. Here's my day, Ian. So I get up in the morning, right? And I'm going to give you Saturday, but this is like a typical Tenitra day. So get up tomorrow. I've got a meeting in West Midtown in Atlanta. Yep. That I've been trying to do for over 3 months. So I got to take it, but then I've got to get back to
I don't care.
Listen, it's good. It's good because the South Side, I get back to the South Side, then I got to go to Macon, which is about an hour and a half away because we have Georgia Sports Hall of Fame on the board of directors for that. But in between, I will be also broadcasting from 2 to 5 with Jonathan Zaslow for ESPN Radio. That's
Tenitra,
typically
I don't
my life.
care. There are other days than Saturday. That's a busy one day out of.
That's how it is every day, Ian. Every day, man. It's my life.
We'll dive back into this later.
But you know what? But I will tell you this.
I'm in awe.
Curt Cignetti's life is so much busier.
He's watching TV every now and then. He's having a cold beer. Yeah.
We should be in awe of Curt Cignetti. And he's getting paid as a result of it, right? Agreed to that new deal at Indiana, pushes his annual salary up to $13.2 million. That deal will go through 2033. Now, the Hoosiers have been the ultimate aggressors in keeping Cignetti, and rightfully so, because we talk a lot about the transfer portal for players, but coaches move a lot too. This third time in 2 seasons that Indiana has redone Curt Cignetti's deal as he took them to a national championship. So, in your opinion, because some people are up in arms about this $13 million, Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, the only other 2 coaches in the ballpark of that. But do you think a college football coach, especially one who's turned that program around, who's had so much return on investment, is worth over $13 million a year?
He's underpaid. That's going to make a lot of people angry. What about the English professor? What about the biology teacher? What about the JCOM teacher? Okay, who builds those buildings and provides all of the funding for their programs? Football, basketball. But football starts everything. When Nick Saban got paid $8 million, and this was 10 years ago, because I think his last contract was right around 11. And I said then, he's underpaid. I caught holy hell. And what about the English department? You know who built the new English building in Tuscaloosa? Nick Saban in football. When I went to Alabama, and it took me 6.5 years to get out, so look, I spent a lot of time there. There wasn't a damn Rolex dealership in Tuscaloosa when I was there. There is now. There were tumbleweeds going through downtown Tuscaloosa on the corner of University and Greensboro when we opened up the Innisfree Irish Pub, the original one on Greensboro. I mean, now, look, it is remarkable. Nick Saban in football transformed Tuscaloosa from a college town to a college city. He was underpaid, and you know why? To get in Alabama as an out-of-state student went from when I went there. Did you spell your name correctly? You're in. And if you almost got it right, you're still in.
You're still in,
right?
Yeah.
Just spell your name right. You're admitted. Now it's around a 3.4 to 1200 SAT to get into Alabama. Why? Football. Saban. What is? And I got recruited by Indiana to play soccer and almost went there. The Snow Brothers were there back then. I'm dating myself in a big way. But Bloomington is gorgeous.
Yes.
But what is Signetti going to do right now? Look at the endowment. Look how much money's rolling in from people like Jane Pauley and Mark Cuban. They have the biggest alumni base in America. And they weren't kicking in until what? It wasn't basketball.
Yeah.
No, it was SIG and football going to the college football playoff 2 years ago, winning it all this year. I'm telling you, he is underpaid because of the amount of money that is rolling in from alumni right now. And anybody who disagrees, phone lines are open. And I promise you I will shut you down, because if you want to talk about biology and chemistry and JCOM and English and math and anything else, the law school, business school, guess who's paying for all that? Football right now with Kurt Signetti.
And if you come for Ian, I am backing him up on that, because I think the same. I don't think $13 million is even enough. And, of course, that includes the performance bonuses like winning the Big Ten title, National Coach of the Year, et cetera. But when you think about those gains that you just mentioned, and then there's almost $81 million that went to football specifically, right? The $2.7 million increase in ticket sales goes from $2.7 million to $12.7 million, Ian, based off of what Kurt Signetti has been able to do. And then for the athletic department overall, because remember, there are other teams out there that aren't revenue generators that the football team has to support with their revenue generation. $183.4 million. They've got a $10 million surplus. Tell me, in the Indiana football realm, and you can probably say even in basketball from, say, the latter part of the decade, tell me when's the last time they probably had a $10 million surplus. Tell me when's the last time that they – yeah, exactly. The 12th never. The 12th never.
That's it. That's the answer. It hasn't happened. And it always cracks me up. Like, how can you pay a football coach that much money? How can you pay a basketball coach that much money? You want to know why? Because they bring in so much more money. When it comes to, again, endowment, donations, everything. The free pub, the free advertising you get when College Game Day rolls onto your campus, or you're playing in a college football playoff game, or you're on national television, and you're on the cover of what used to be magazines. Now it's every website, right?
Yeah.
It's invaluable. When Johnny Manziel won the Heisman at Texas A&M, he single-handedly built an addition to Kyle Field, and the endowment went up 600% on one season because of one remarkable Heisman run. Now, obviously, he went to hell in a handbasket, but that's what football can do. And when you continue that success, like Saban did at Alabama, like Kirby Smart's doing at Georgia, but when you do it at a place that's never, ever experienced it, Georgia had, Bama had, Texas has, Ohio State has, Indiana's never had this. I'm telling you, and I know people are going to be really angry with you and I, but Kurt Signetti at $13.2 million per year is underpaid for what he's delivering to that university.
Indeed. And in our backyard, LSU, Lane Kiffin hasn't won anything, but what they're looking for is for him to bring them back to the glory days. That's why they're paying him $13 million as well. Tune in for NBA action Sunday as the Warriors host the Nuggets, presented by Indeed. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Boy, that on paper, that looks like that's going to be a good game, but I love what the Nuggets are able to do just in terms of how they've been trending up. Boy, I can't wait for the back half of the NBA season. Coming up, we dive into the 2026 NFL Draft and a very thin QB class. Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80, Ian Fitzsimmons, and Tanitra Batiste.
That guy.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and me, Michelle Smallman. Huge NBA weekend, college basketball plus baseball is back, and we'll react to it all during Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Your new home for 24-hour sports coverage. ESPN Cleveland 1013. Take ESPN Cleveland 1013 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 1013. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 1013, presented by Hardees.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 1013, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 1013.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
You're listening to Mix 104.1, Cleveland's Oldies 99.1, ESPN Cleveland 101.3. I'm Steve Hardline with a district tournament update. The new nights for the District 5 4A tournament now will continue with the boys' semifinals taking place at Walker Valley on Saturday night, beginning at 6 o'clock with Cleveland Bradley, and then Walker Valley boys and East Hamilton will follow that game. Again, the boys' semifinals will be Saturday night at Walker Valley, and that will start at 6 with Bradley Cleveland, Walker Valley, East Hamilton at 7:30. And then on Monday night will be the District 5 4A Girls Championship, which is going to be Cleveland at Bradley on Monday night at 7:30. And we will have live coverage of all of this on Mix 104.1 and the Mix 104.1 app, presented by Cleveland Ford. Then next Tuesday night, it will be the boys' championship game played at Walker Valley. Again, the new schedule now in place, and that is, again, boys' semifinals Saturday night, 6 o'clock at Walker Valley. Girls' championship game, district championship, Cleveland-Bradley, 7:30 at Bradley on Monday night with a consolation game prior. And then the district boys championship will be played Tuesday night at Walker Valley. Thank you for joining us. More on this on our social media and our websites. Stay with us. We'll keep you updated.
35 seconds left in the game. Sidney Crosby did not play due to an injury.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Monday, we react to the Winter Olympics gold medal hockey game and weigh in on the latest from the NFL offseason as the NFL Scouting Combine gets set to kick off. That's on Monday's Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
This is Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio.
Fireball.
Still getting primed and pumped for Sunday gold medal match with our men going up against Canada. Early, 8:10 Eastern. Get your Bloody Marys and your mimosas ready. It's going to be a dandy. With Anitra Batiste in for Amber Wilson, I'm Ian Fitzsimmons here on ESPN Radio. Let's talk some football. Bring in Field Yates, ESPN Fantasy Football and NFL Draft Analyst, joining us now here on ESPN Radio. All right, Phil, let's start with the quarterbacks, man. We all know Mendoza is going number one. Before we get to everyone behind Fernando Mendoza, what do you love about this particular quarterback who won the Heisman and a national championship?
Yeah, you think about some of the recent quarterbacks that have gone number one overall, and during the pre-draft process, we've talked, Fitz, about but those couple of moments, like for Cam Ward in Miami last year, they had a game at Cal. It was early in the season. It was late on the East Coast. The Cam was kind of erratic. Some of the decision-making wasn't great. You're saying to yourself, how do these lapses take place? 2 years ago, Caleb Williams, a game against Notre Dame, 3 interceptions. Jaden Daniels, Florida State, the first game of his final season. Drake May kind of had an uneven year for much of his final college year at North Carolina. With Fernando Mendoza, they go 16-0. Wasn't perfect against Iowa in that win. Wasn't perfect against Ohio State. Wasn't perfect in their first Oregon game. But it just felt like every single week he made some very timely plays. And I would say a relatively steady performance from start to finish. And on top of that is, he got the job done, obviously, most notably with his arm. But he really improved his pocket presence, cut down on the sacks by a ton this year, admittedly playing behind a much better offensive line. But he showed growth in areas that I think are essential to NFL quarterback success.
Why could Ty Simpson, because you have him right now as your number 2 quarterback coming up in the draft in April, why could he be an exception to the Bill Parcells quarterback rule? And that is, you never draft a quarterback that isn't right around 30 college football starts. Why could he be an exception?
Yeah, because of the year that he came out. That's probably the best reason why, is that it's sort of a buyer's market right now for quarterback prospects, right? Because beyond Fernando Mendoza, there is no sure thing. But as you and I talk right now, we could probably put together a list of, conservatively, 8 teams that need a young quarterback on their roster to try to build around going forward, plus a couple of teams might be thinking towards the future beyond this upcoming year and saying to themselves, it's better to grab a quarterback when you want one as opposed to when you need one. And Ty also had a rock-solid start to this past year. Yep. At one point this past season, he had a 21-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Alabama was playing really good ball. They ended up making the college football playoff. Ty kind of stumbled down the stretch. His decision-making dropped. His accuracy dropped. A little more careless with the football. That being said, it's a full-year evaluation. And for the better part of September and October, a lot of people were saying, could this be a top 5 pick in the draft and challenge to be the best quarterback in the class? So water tends to find its level with the NFL draft, and there are probably enough evaluators that will spend plenty of time on the first half of the season and say to themselves, it may not have been perfect down the stretch, but we think we can resurrect the player we saw early on in the 2025 season.
Field Yates does an outstanding job for the NFL draft, also outstanding NFL analyst. You can catch him on First Draft with that dude named Kuiper joining us here on Amber and Ian here on ESPN Radio. You don't have Carson Beck in your top 5, but I'm with you on that 100%. Why don't you have Carson Beck as one of your top 5 available quarterbacks?
It'll be an interesting evaluation. 6-year college player, and there was a time where Carson Beck, late in his Georgia career, felt like maybe he'd be a top 5 pick in the draft. As you know, I mean, his natural talents are immense. But there are quarterbacks in this class, a couple of them, including Carson Beck and Drew Aller, where if I told you what are the traits that they have, say the size, they've got good arm talent, they're both good athletes relative to their size, they got plenty of experience. But why did it not come together consistently enough at the collegiate level? And that, to me, is going to be something that kind of is dug into throughout the next 2 months. And so for Carson, you know, the best version of Carson this past season helped Miami win a lot of football games and make it to the national championship. And then there are other games where you just were left wanting more. There's a reason why Miami nearly did not make the college football playoff this past year. And it was losses to teams they shouldn't have lost to, SMU in overtime, where he's picked off multiple times. And you're saying to yourself, why is he not, on a play-in, play-out basis, as steady as his traits suggest he would be? So I think he goes somewhere on day 3, but that's a lot different than the projection would have been 2 years ago at this time, where there was talk about Carson Beck maybe being a future first-round pick.
Who's a quarterback that is maybe off the radar a bit that could surprise people and have an outstanding NFL career? Because it happens every other year, it feels like.
Yeah, and people are wondering who is the next Brock Purdy, right? That seems to be the trendiest question that's asked before drafts now. And the truth
or
is
Dak
that,
Prescott, Russell Wilson, right? All those dudes were, you know, third and lower. So there you go.
Yep. And I think that, you know, odds would suggest that the answer is none, right? Like that's the more likely outcome, is that none of these quarterbacks in this class that are taken from the third rounder on go on to highly successful starting careers, because that's what makes those guys such notable, unique exceptions. But I'll give you a guy who I think has something to him. It's Illinois quarterback Luke Altmaier, who began his career at Ole Miss, finishes up at Illinois for 3 seasons, helped them win a bunch of games, had a great defense with Brett Bielema, but they played some good offense as well. And Altmaier reminds me a little bit of Purdy in the sense that he's more of a distributor than a guy who's got this off-the-chart size, absolute cannon of an arm, you know, some of the dynamic traits that we talk about with other quarterbacks at the top of the food chain. But with Purdy, as we know, it's his brain is like a computer, right? It's a PC. Yeah. It just processes so much, and he's so smart with where he puts the football and does so with great touch and accuracy and consistency. And I think Luke Altmaier has some of that. He's a good athlete as well. And I keep describing quarterbacks in this class as good athletes because it's almost become required to be a good athlete to play the position. There are very few basically statues that are still operating at a high level at quarterback, other than the NFL MVP this past year, Matthew Stafford. But of course, he was drafted back in 2007. We're in a new era, though, of quarterbacks, right? Where these guys are being trained from a young age to be weapons with their legs. So Luke's a good enough athlete, consistent thrower, very experienced as well, kind of has a quiet poise about him as a leader. I think Luke goes somewhere on day 3, maybe it's round 4 or 5. And I think the floor for him is longtime NFL backup, which is a very valuable position in today's league.
Let's go to the big boys, because we all know quarterback, they get the headlines. That's why we spend a lot of time on them. But games are won in the trenches. And I hear a lot of people saying it's not a deep tackle draft. Well, I kind of disagree, starting with Francis Mauigoa coming out of Miami. What do you see when it comes to – and they might move him inside. They might kick him to guard. But still, what do you see as far as the depth goes in protecting the quarterback?
Yeah, not bad this year. I think there might be a few more names that are going to bubble up over the next couple of months here that might surprise people as potential first-round picks. But Mauigoa is maybe the cleanest prospect in the class. He's certainly on the short list. He is so smooth, so in control. His body control is just ridiculous. You really see it when you watch the Miami offensive line. There's 4 guys who could get drafted, and including the entire right side of the offensive line will get drafted. Not that Nez Cooper's not a good player. He is a good player. I think he goes somewhere early on day 3. But you just see how balanced and sophisticated of a mover Maui Noah is when you watch him play against high-level defensive competition, and also alongside his future NFL teammates that were playing on his own on his own college line. Beyond that, I think Spencer Fano from Utah is super intriguing. His former college teammate Caleb Lumu, the guy that I keep getting excited about, and I'll continue to talk about until the actual draft itself, is Monroe Freeling from Georgia, who came out maybe a year earlier than a lot expected, got 18 college starts, full-time starter for just one season, but fits big, long, is a good starting point. And he's 6'7", 315 pounds, with 35-inch arms. He checks all the boxes as far as what coaches are looking for on that height, weight, speed front. I think he's due to crush the combine next week. Just a buttery, smooth athlete, great pass protector. And I think that Monroe Freeling is the guy who's going to continue to fly up the boards.
2 more for you, Field. We'll turn you loose, man. Edge rusher, go. Who do you like?
Yeah, just incredibly deep room this year at the edge rusher spot. I think there's 9 different guys who think they have a chance to go in the first round. And I think what's cool about the edge rusher class is that it's different shapes and sizes. Ruben Bain from Miami is going to be dinged a little bit because he's short and stout. He's got maybe 31-inch arms at maximum. He's sort of like 6'2.5", 260 pounds, not a superlative athlete. That being said, he has heavy, active, strong hands, tenacious rusher, lots of production, experienced player. So you've got body types that may not be perfect, but they've got tons of good football on their tape, and that should be a driving force behind any selection. But then you've also got guys like Keldrick Falk from Auburn, who has all the measurables, 6'6", 280 pounds, was great in 2024 with 7 sacks as a true sophomore. Past year as a true junior, just 2 sacks. So he's still going to go high, kind of like Michael Williams last year from Georgia, is that you have the measurables. Teams are going to bank on what you can become. So deep, talented pool of edge rushers, but also a group of edge rushers that, regardless of scheme that you play, you're probably going to have somebody available that you like.
Quick thought on how deep this wide receiver class is, in your opinion.
Well, I got 41 guys with a draftable grade on them, so that tells you how deep I think it is. Obviously, we've got, 260 or so picks? Yeah, so that would make up, 15 or so percent of the
Don't make me do math, Phil.
Math
took me 6.5 years to get out of Alabama, dude. Don't make me do math.
There we go. That's right, yeah. So it's a, whatever that percentage is, and I was probably way off there, but 41 that's a pretty good number there, and insanely deep as well. And that's start to finish. There are guys, we could have 6 taken in the first round. We're going to have guys going on day 3 that people say 3 years from now, why the heck did this player wait? So a good year to need some pass catchers, and not a great year on the free agency market. George Pickens is the headliner, along with Alec Pierce and Romeo Doubs. Good players, but to me, not the kind of guys that you build out. The Pickens, yes, but he's going to get franchise tag. But Pierce and Dobbs, not the kind of guys that necessarily build your passing game around.
You want more of this? Check him out on First Draft with Kuiper and Greeny. And then also, all his intel is on the NFL page on ESPN.com. Phil, we can't thank you enough on a Friday at this time, man. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend. We'll talk soon.
You bet, my friend. Good to talk to you as always.
Back at you, man. That's Field Yates joining us here on Amber and Ian. Tanitra, Baptiste in for Amber Wilson. Tanitra, the look on your face when he said 41 draftable grades on wide receivers, that tells you everything you need to know about the depth at wide receiver in this draft.
As a Pittsburgh Steelers fan looking for wide receiver 1, I am salivating. That was like life-changing for me, just so you know. But listen, we need some life-changing advice, but on what? We'll tell you next. It's Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and SiriusXM Channel 80.
Next week is NFL Combine Week.
We're there in the room where it happens.
All the news from Indianapolis.
We're going to be talking a lot about the wide receiver depth.
Plus, whose stock is rising.
I feel like I'm, the best.
And who is dropping.
I'm cool with being underrated.
The NFL Combine.
This is it. We're here.
Continuing coverage right here on ESPN Radio.
We're definitely going to be late for kickoff. We should be at the game by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I've got to fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple of towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We missed tailgating because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas. Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the whole first quarter.
Football fans, download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FANS to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FANS for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FANS for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code FANS.
Your new home for 24-hour sports coverage. ESPN Cleveland, 1013. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
You can't control the weather, but you can control your financial plan.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 1013.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Take ESPN Cleveland 1013 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 1013.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
Channel 80, Ian Fitzsimmons and Tanitra Batiste with you tonight. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. You can give us a call at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. And now a Progressive ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. See if you could save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or progressive.com.
All right, but we were going to talk Chiefs and Andy Reid talking about Mahomes being in the facility 7 hours a day rehabbing his knee and this and that. No, hell with that. Because she gave the number, Tanitra Batiste did, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. About half an hour ago, we were in a break, and she informed Javon Sienke, our producer, myself, that she does not watch television. She does not watch movies. So we're going to give you a homework assignment. We're going to the phones.
Okay.
The next time you're on this show, you have to give a review of a particular TV show and a movie. So you have, so phone lines are open. Which show should she watch, start to finish, season 1 to the end, and one movie? So, and then you have to complete the homework assignment the next time we talk. So I said...
I think that's fair.
I said Seinfeld, and I got crushed by Stosh. I have a Seinfeld moment every day. Now, it is one of the pastiest shows in the history of television, but it's still hilarious, and it stands the test of time. But since I got ripped to hell over my Seinfeld recommendation, I'll go with a very current one, and that is Landman. I'm going to go Landman as a current pop culture, or Yellowstone. Take your pick. Both pasty, but both awesome. So that's where I'm going. Stosh, where are you going?
I got to tell you, I am not in any way a fan of like country western things, but Yellowstone is a home run.
Yep.
The other show that I watched that just was mesmerizing to me was Ozark.
That show sucks. All right, stop. Don't do that to her. No, man. Look, everyone should have been dead.
Seinfeld.
Everyone should have been dead in Ozark by at the end of episode 3. You had the Kansas City mob after you, the cartels after you, right, and the FBI's after you. No, everyone should have been gone like the third episode, and it went like 8 years. Are you kidding me?
Saying watch Seinfeld, which is the most overrated show of all time.
You're nuts.
Is telling me Ozark's trash.
Ozark, they all should have been dead by episode 3, season 1. Everyone. Niedermeyer dead. All of them dead.
Amazing
I mean, are you
show.
kidding me? All right.
Don't listen to him, Tanitra.
Phones are ringing. All right, Javon, what do you got? What do you recommend?
Honestly, I watch TV, but I'm not a huge series person. So honestly, I might need some advice from you guys as well. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
What the hell? We got 2 of you? I didn't know this about you.
Yeah, see, Javon understands me.
Are you kidding me?
What about movies, Javon? Got a good movie?
I'm into superhero movies a lot, comedies. I'm trying to think of a good comedy I've seen recently. I feel like movies have been really hit or miss these days. Not a lot of great movies. Star
Wars.
Oh, dear
Star
God.
Wars. I mean, Star Wars is always a good recommendation.
Sinitra, what was the last movie you watched?
It really was.
Oh, you said Black Panther, right?
Yeah,
Is that the
it
last
really
one?
was Black Panther.
Okay.
Yes, it really
That's like
was.
8 years
And I'm not even talking about Wakanda Forever. I'm talking about the original Black Panther.
When the Winter Soldier was still, the Winter Soldier. Okay, look, I'm going to go old school for you. I'd go like The Godfather, just because it's everyone loves
I have
mob
seen
stuff.
The Godfather.
You have?
Yeah,
Oh,
I told you,
my
I'm
Lord.
I'm kind of like
I'm proud of you.
Forrest Gump when it comes to like movies, like I'm doing something
The
over
Gumper
and over
was
and
a
over
good
again.
one? Yep, that's a good
so
one.
I'll once I find the movie, I'm like an idiot savant with it, right? I just go over and over and over and over and over again. So yeah, I've seen Forrest Gump and The Godfather so many unbelievable like a ridiculous number of times. Like for
All
real.
right. But so we're going to stick with, I guess, either current shows or former shows. I mean, look, I'm a Seinfeld guy. I absolutely love it. But
Bless your heart.
I was overruled on that one. So I'm giving you Landman to go watch because it's about as real as it gets when it comes to wildcat and oil in Texas. And you being a Louisiana boot girl, I'm a Louisiana boot boy. We know oil also, right, and all that stuff. So you can relate when it comes to being the neighbor of the great state of Texas. All right, Ronell in Arkansas. Ronell, you're on ESPN Radio. What do you got for Tanitra?
First, I just got to say, I called in to defend Seinfeld's honor. How you going to sit up and say Seinfeld is overrated?
Come on,
Have you
Ronell.
lost your mind?
Thank you.
It's one of the greatest shows. I mean, are you serious? Now, I will give another recommendation as a TV savant. I'm going to go a little bit old school and go Golden Girls.
That's the only show I watch every night. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that is the only show I probably have seen in its entirety.
Ronell, you watch Golden Girls?
Hey, look, it puts me to sleep. It reminds me of my grandma. May she rest in peace.
Seinfeld puts me to sleep.
Me too.
Okay.
By the way, they were 50, and in Landman, Allie Lauder is 50. Look at that 50 in Golden Girls, and look at Allie Lauder in Landman.
Yeah.
Big
Two totally
damn
different 50s.
difference.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Chad in Salt Lake City. Chad, you're on ESPN Radio. What do you got for Tanitra?
I know you guys went with a lot of the Southern, episodicals, but nah, you guys got to kick it back to, you got to go with Justified. It has just the right amount of baseball in it and sports in it, and it's got a little more color than the other ones you were talking about. So it's got a little bit of everything, and then movies. 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. About 8 years old, but it's a good watch.
Justified.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
I just wrote it down. All right, that's been added to the list. I get it.
I had to Google it.
You're a Golden Girls fan?
Oh yeah, now I checked the box on Golden Girls. That is the one show when I do turn the TV on, I'm looking to see which network has Golden Girls on. I don't think there's a Golden Girls episode that I haven't watched.
That is amazing. You and my wife. All right, last one. Kevin in Sacramento. Squeeze it in. We got a minute. Kevin, go ahead. What do you have for Tenitra? What should she binge watch right now?
We've been watching Lincoln Lawyer, and it's great because it's a whole series, it's a whole arc, and then the last episode they tell you what really is going on.
I love it. I'm going to watch that one. I'm going to put that on my to-do list.
All right,
I'm
so
going to put it on my
one.
to-do list. I'm serious.
You got to pick one.
Okay.
Which one are you going with?
If I only had to pick one, most people I hear, they're talking about Landman, so I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to go Landman.
You're going to love it. It's nuts. It is insane, and it is pretty damn accurate when it comes to wildcatting oil in Texas. There you go. You'll enjoy it.
There you go.
Keep Jerry Jones in mind when you're watching it, by the way.
Oh, God, now I won't love it. Nor do the Eagles love that. But we'll look at the Eagles in the offseason. Will they, won't they trade A.J. Brown? It is Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and me, Michelle Smallman. Spring training is up and running, so I'll give you my top 5 storylines of the MLB season that I'm paying attention to. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Your new home for 24-hour sports coverage. ESPN Cleveland 101.3. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
Just like the weather, markets change fast. Alon Planning Partners helps you stay prepared.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Take ESPN Cleveland 101.3 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 has scored its very own app.
He shoots and scores.
With the ESPN app, you can listen live from anywhere. You'll get the links for the very latest sports news and information. Somebody made a huge trade? You'll know about it. Access to the latest scores and standings? You'll have it. Go to ESPNCleveland1013.com and download the brand new ESPN Cleveland 101.3 app today at ESPNCleveland1013.com. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
You're listening to Mix 104.1, Cleveland's Oldies 99.1, ESPN Cleveland 101.3. I'm Steve Hartline with a district tournament update. The new nights for the District 5 4A tournament now will continue with the boys' semifinals taking place at Walker Valley on Saturday night, beginning at 6 o'clock with Cleveland Bradley. And then Walker Valley boys and East Hamilton will follow that game. Again, the boys' semifinals will be Saturday night at Walker Valley. And that will start at 6 with Bradley, Cleveland, Walker Valley, East Hamilton at 7:30. And then on Monday night will be the District 5 4A Girls Championship, which is going to be Cleveland at Bradley on Monday night at 7:30. And we will have live coverage of all of this on Mix 104.1 and the Mix 104.1 app presented by Cleveland Ford. Then next Tuesday night, it will be the boys' championship game played at Walker Valley. Again, the new schedule now in place, and that is, again, boys' semifinals Saturday night, 6 o'clock at Walker Valley. Girls championship game, district championship, Cleveland Bradley, 7:30 at Bradley on Monday night with a consolation game prior. And then the district boys championship will be played Tuesday night at Walker Valley. Thank you for joining us. More on this on our social media and our websites. Stay with us. We'll keep you updated.
Touch fun. Perfect return music to get into our next conversation. Those Eagles of Philadelphia. Well, Tanitra Batiste is in for Amber Wilson. I'm Ian Fitzsimmons here on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. Let's bring in John Kincaid, 97.5 The Fanatic. Does mornings. If you want the latest intel on anything Philly when it comes to sports or entertainment, tune in to our man John Kincaid, who joins us now. And, John, let's start with Jalen Hurts, who will go into another season with yet another offensive coordinator. Going back to his days at Alabama, he has had a new OC every single season. So what's it like having another new OC for your quarterback there in Philadelphia?
Well, what it usually means, Ian, is it means success, right? It means it breeds success. It means that Jalen Hurts tends to be around successful teams. So teams come in and watch whatever his teams do, and then they poach off of that coaching staff. So that's one positive way to look at it. Or you can look at it this way. The guy they hired last year was an incompetent guy, which they did. They hired an incompetent guy. One of Nick Sirianni's bros got the job, and it was a real poor hire. And that was the situation last year with Kevin Patullo. It was atrocious. And it was funny because I cried about it all summer long. I had the worst just premonition all summer long that it was going to be a disaster. And I kept saying, this isn't good. This isn't a good hire. I had to be talked off a ledge. And everybody was telling me, God, calm down. They're the defending Super Bowl champs. Relax. This is all going to work out. And I was like, I don't like the hire. I don't like it. The guy who was in the NFL for 16 seasons and never got promoted to call plays, when you stick around that long in any business and nobody poaches you, nobody says he's the guy, nobody taps him on the shoulder and says, I want to see what he can do, that scared me. And we found out. So Sean Mannion, hey, he's off a good tree. if the trees mean anything. I'm not a horticulturalist, so we'll find out. But I like what I've heard about so far. Let's put it that way.
When it comes to Sirianni, only in Philadelphia could this happen, where you have 2 Super Bowl appearances in the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You've won a Super Bowl in the last 3 years, yet you are on the proverbial hot seat every year. What is it about Sirianni, that fan base, that culture right there in Philadelphia?
Now, the funny thing is, Ian, you're doing what a lot of people do from the outside. And I mean, is that they're doing what's it about Philadelphia? I'm telling you this. I was a fan, as was ESPN's Tim Kirkjian, of the TV show Get Smart. I love Get Smart. It was my favorite show. And I'm convinced that Nick Sirianni is the NFL's version of Maxwell Smart. He can stumble his way into success. He's a good man. He has a good heart. He has a lot of good attributes, but his skill sets, his approach to things, a lot of times you wonder, how the hell is he getting this done? How is he having this kind of success? Because I just don't see it. I don't see how it's coming together. And it's been such boom or bust. Everything that he goes about is so boom or bust. And it's not unfair to say he was hired as an offensive guy around this town when they brought him in. And every time the offense in 2023 and 2025 has been a plane in a nosedive, Nick Sirianni has sat in his seat in 11C, sipping on his ginger ale. And the flight attendants are like, does anybody know how to fly a plane? And he's just sitting there, paging through the Delta magazine, looking if he wants to buy anything from the Sky Mall. I mean, he doesn't help. He doesn't do anything to help. So he gets all the critique that he deserves. He gets all the praise that he deserves. Real good guy, real good motivator, real good energy guy. But as far as strategy and everything like that, I think he stumbles into a lot of the success. I really do.
How do you stumble into 2 Super Bowl appearances and also winning one just 2 years ago?
Okay, here's how you stumble into it. There's a guy named Vic Fangio who came in here as the defensive coordinator, and he's been brilliant. And every one of his defensive players you could just see it from the time he arrived. They have especially those Georgia dogs, the dogs who, and I watched a lot of those guys before I came up from Atlanta. I watched those dogs, playing under Kirby Smart. And, when Fangio came in, the Miami Dolphins players, they thought he was too mean. He was too tough, couldn't relate to young players. And I talked to some of those Georgia guys, after, he'd been here a little bit. And I was like, you guys like Vic? And they're like, well, we're from Georgia. We're used to being dog cussed by Kirby on a bloody Tuesday practice. Yeah. I mean, like in the weight room and everything. So Vic Fangio and his tough, hard style of coaching was what they knew. He spoke their language and he related to them. And there was great energy, so it worked. And he's been really, really brilliant and done a nice job. And plus, Howie Roseman did some nice shopping for him. You bring in a Cooper DeJean, you bring in a Quinyon Mitchell, and he gets the most out of a Jordan Davis. He really finds a way to work him. He gets the most out of a Nakobe Dean when he was healthy. He's found a way to energize that group. That's helped a lot. Plus, it's not like when you've got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, that you're talking about asking a chef to make a meal. You're not sending him to Trader Joe's with $10. He's going to Whole Foods and he's got your black card. So he's buying the good stuff. So, I mean, come on now. Everybody's making it out to be like, boy, Nick Sirianni is like, look what he gets done. Yeah, he gets done a lot. He does. But he's getting it done with a gold standard of quality talent.
John, winning coach in the NFL isn't winning without top-notch talent. You can't find one.
Wait. Okay, here's what I'm going to say to you, though. If those coaches are winning, okay, so who's a coach? Give me one of those coaches, because I love this give and take. So give me a coach who's winning. Give me one of those guys.
Mike McDonald.
Okay, Mike McDonald. What does Mike McDonald do, though? Mike McDonald is the mastermind of the defense. Sean McVay, the Kyle Shanahans, those guys, they're masterminds of the offense. They're the guys who do. Nick Sirianni isn't a master of anything. He does the rah-rah speech. He's the administrator of it all. And yes, people will say, oh, well, John Harbaugh's that. Okay, John Harbaugh was a successful special teams coach for a long time under Andy Reid and learned under one of the best and brought it in here, brought it down to Baltimore, and had a real good run of success. I think he had a real bad run at the end, and I'm not actually scared of him being the Giants coach. But it's like when people compare, like, well, Tomlin and John Harbaugh, they're CEO coaches. Look, Nick Sirianni was not qualified to be considered a CEO coach because he hadn't shown that he could control one side of the ball or step in and do something when something needed to be done. He's, again, really good guy, really good motivator, positive force, but when things needed to be fixed, he does not have a toolkit, my man.
John Kincaid, 97.5 The Fanatic, giving you what the Eagles and must.
I'm very shy, as you remember, Ian, very much.
I've known you too long, brother. I get it. Going back to your days in Atlanta where I was at WJLX in Birmingham, we were cross paths one too many times. All right,
absolutely.
Quick, rapid fire here, Kincaid. We're running out of time here. Lane Johnson, what's it mean for him to come back and give it another run?
It means a lot, and he's getting himself a lot healthier. He was really, really banged up last year. He had the stinger early. Him coming back is monumental to their chances for success.
A.J. Brown, will he be an Eagle next year?
I think A.J. Brown will be traded around the draft. That is contrary to what a lot of people are reporting. Adam Schefter was on our show the other day. He believes that he's staying. I personally believe that A.J. Brown will be traded. That's just my gut instinct.
Offseason priority either in free agency with a franchise tag or the draft?
I believe you need to have the backups. You need to draft the next replacement for a Lane Johnson, a Landon Dickerson, and an A.J. Brown. I think you will see them go and get a wide receiver in the draft. You'll see them get a right tackle in the draft, and they will address the offensive line substantially, which they've been ignoring a bit, which hasn't been the Eagles' MO in the past.
By the way, folks, in Philadelphia, I've done the draft for ESPN Radio for now over a decade. It is a deeper offensive tackle draft than most people think. And if you need a wide receiver, this is the year because it is damn deep, maybe the deepest position of any in the upcoming draft in April in Pittsburgh.
I can't wait to hear your coverage of it because it's going to be – I think it's a great draft to have those needs. And I've said the same thing. That's one of the reasons why I think he will be traded, Ian.
Now, the most important one, take your time on this one, partner. My guy, John Kincaid, is a three-time cancer survivor. You keep whipping that damn thing's ass. I mean, we've all been touched by it. I lost my grandfather to it. You've raised a lot of money, man. What does that mean to you to not whip its ass, not once, not twice, but 3 times, but also help other people survive and advance past cancer?
I got to tell you, Ian, it means that I have a calling, like I'm meant to do something. I wasn't meant to be taken. So that means that I'm supposed to get the word out to people that when you're faced with adversity, and I've had 3 different cancers, which is really strange. Like my odds are really poor with that, but I've overcome them. I would say to people is that life is you're gonna face adversity. You're gonna face those things, and the more I can speak about it, I get out and speak about it. I get out and raise money for it. I try to energize people, and I try to tell people too is that every day is a blessing. And it's a cliche to some people. It's not a cliche to me. Every day when I wake up at 4 a.m. to go do Kincaid and South Tunis and get in the car, I say, yeah, it's one more time that I got a chance to chase my dream and to live life. But there's going to be a time where there's going to be a lot of sunshine, golf, and pool time for me because I don't know. God hopefully has some of that time planned for me in the future, too. I can tell you.
You are a damn prince. John Kincaid, catch him mornings, 97.5 The Fanatic in Philadelphia, Kincaid and South Tunis. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for the insight and as to what the Eagles are looking at, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Great catching up, man. Take care, buddy.
Been too long. John Kincaid joining us here on ESPN Radio with Anitra Batista. I'm Ian Fitzsimmons. She's in for Amber Wilson. That last part, I mean, we've all been touched by it. Absolutely. This dude is an absolute warrior.
He is indeed. And, yeah, you're right. Personally, survivor myself, so that warms my heart.
I didn't know that.
John Kincaid, yeah. John Kincaid was here in Atlanta for a number of years while I was here, so definitely appreciate him. And you're right, this is a personal cause for him that he has been consistent with throughout the time I've known him to be on radio and before.
Wow, I had no idea. God bless you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Whipping its butt yet again.
BTA, man. BTA. Anyway, how many quarterbacks would I take here in Atlanta ahead of Michael Penix Jr.? Well, Ian and I are going to figure out the Falcons' QB plan moving forward next on Amber and Ian on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
NBA Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's a Western Conference showdown in San Francisco. Nikola Jokic leads the Denver Nuggets against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Coverage begins Sunday at 3 Eastern with tip-off at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC, presented by Indeed.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 101.3 from the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center.
Your financial future deserves a clear forecast. Call Alon Planning Partners today.
Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441. Here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Scattered showers for your Friday evening. Heading through the overnight, we'll see some of those showers continuing. A rumble of thunder, maybe a little lightning, not out of the question. No severe weather expected. We'll see the showers overnight into early Saturday morning. They'll taper off. We'll hit a high of 68, and then more scattered showers are going to move in Saturday evening into Saturday night. Colder air and dry air moves in on Sunday, 35 Sunday morning, a high of 46 Sunday afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
You're listening to Amber and Ian on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Game night is coming up. The ESPN Cleveland 101.3 lineup is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group, wholesalepsupply.us. Take ESPN Cleveland 101.3 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ed Council.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week, they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets head to New York City to face Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. Brunson fires a three. Oh, what a big shot! Coverage begins tomorrow at 8 Eastern with tip-off at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Indeed.
On ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80, presented by Progressive Insurance. Give us a call.